Welcome to Kranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Kranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, everyone. How are you doing? Buenos noches, buenos noches. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. This is the Kranky Live show. And as them say, we are back again to talk Jamaica football, to talk Jamaica controversy, to talk Jamaica traditional media for some reason. This seems to be a theme nowadays. Not sure why. So this won't be a long show, actually. One of them shorter shows. The length of the show will depend upon how much you contribute to the conversation, actually. So you're going to depend. You're going to determine. I don't know why this thing is showing this way. You're going to determine how long I go tonight and the extent of the conversation. So first of all, I want to say this to all the Chelsea fans, because I seem to be getting a lot of Chelsea fans beating their chests because they played well against us. They're the better team. Good night, 66551. They're a better team. And when you're the better team, you deserve to get your compliments. Right? You deserve your compliments. So I will not take away from what they accomplished this weekend. They lost their best player in the mid-30s, and bless up Princeton. And they almost, one could have said they led and could have won that game. And we're supposed to be the favorite team, and we didn't play well. So one can't make excuses. We were poor all across the pitch. And even though we were missing our two center halves, that's no excuse for how poorly we played. So let's see what happens going forward. But we were very, very poor. And the hope is that that would not be the case in the future. But you never know. But we're here to talk Jamaica football, not just talk about the EPL. Their games this Wednesday, by the way. I think their games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's that time of the year where there's a lot of games on every week now and twice a week sometimes until end of the year. So busy festive period in sports and otherwise. But Jamaica will not be playing any Jamaica men's team. Bless up Chris Smith. Not be playing any football. Their coaching staff, I guess, will be preparing all they can for the upcoming playoffs in March. And as usual, when things have not gone well in life, you got to look for somebody to blame. So tonight we're going to tackle a big issue. Is the Jamaica media protecting the JFF by shifting blames onto English-born and diaspora players? Because most of the players who are in the squad or diaspora are born in the UK. Maybe the only one we have outside is, at least that I'm aware of, is Ian Frey. I don't know where Jamal Waite was born, but most of them are born outside Jamaica. He's not. No, he's getting some minutes. He may not be getting 90 minutes, but he's getting some minutes. You get 10 here and 10 there. I think before the last window, he played about 45 minutes. So he's going to get a few minutes, but he's not going to get a lot of minutes. And here's what I want to do, people. I want to thank the people who are part of the Kranky community. I'm gonna call them both C Kranky and K Kranky community. Because given that we didn't make World Cup, we are C Kranky. But for those individuals, actually, I want to say this, which is thanks for keeping me abreast. Because sometimes I'm out of the loop when it comes to up-to-date news. And I got a text today from multiple people informing me of the article in the Jamaica Gleaner that talked about it's time. What did the article say? It's time to move on from diaspora players, right? The English experiment has been an expensive, inconsistent, and emotionally draining one. So I'm gonna jump into all of that. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna look at some of your comments first, read the article, then break down the article. Pressa is not happy. I won't put up what Pressa says, but it's up there on the screen. Put it or not. I forgot I have the comments on the screen. It wasn't a good read, and the person who wrote it, it's been an interesting journey after not quite from the World Cup. Actually, is Audley Boyd, who's supposedly a known commodity in Jamaica media circles, works for the Gleaner. It was a very disappointing article. So I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna read the article actually, word for word, letter by letter, word for word, and then I'm gonna break down the article because it's an interesting read. I did read it early today, but I'm gonna read the article. And I'm gonna talk about a lot of different things, not just about the article, but about just the relationship between Jamaica and the diaspora, because I think that's important. And we keep trying to beating a dead horse to death, but the horse is not dying. When you think you've stepped on the horse and crushed it, it keeps popping its ugly head any and everywhere. So let's go with the article, actually. Let me try to read the article. Maybe I'll try to post it up and read it while it's, you know what? Let me try to post it. So this is the article. Let me take down these comments. I'm going to read the article, and you can read along with me, since I don't read that well anyway. So it says, Jamaica's failure to secure automatic qualification to the 2026 World Cup. So I could summarize the article, people. I could summarize it and relate to you, but I want you to just go through it with me, word for word. It's a long article, actually, for a newspaper. Jamaica's failure to secure automatic qualification to the 2026 World Cup should mark a turning point in its football. It should define the end of the Jamaica Football Federation experiment to favor selection to the senior men's national football team, the Reggae Boys, with players from overseas who qualify to play for the country through lineage ahead of those who were born, bred, developed their talent on these shores. So let me read that again. What he's basically saying here is that those players who were born overseas are given preferential treatment to be in the national team. Wow. Mark that one down. I'm going to say again, wow. You know what? I write down myself. I forgot that one down. English-born players given preferential treatment. If they were, probably no Jamaican players in the team. English-born players. Oh, this is amazing. English-born players. I wonder if it must be just for the Reggae Boys national team, because the kids who try to come play for the under 20 sure didn't get that treatment. In fact, they didn't come to play. That's amazing. And he works for the Gleaner? Wow. But it's a theme, so let's go with the theme. Let's keep going. The vast majority of players, I'm just trying to make sure I get this right, people. Sorry. I think I missed my place where I was. The vast majority of players who have enjoyed unequal opportunities at Reggae Boys selection are and have been attached to professional clubs based in England. The experiment began prior to Jamaica's historic qualification to the World Cup finals in France 1998, and it has been a colossal failure. And the fate divested in that strategy remains unproven. What the hell do you mean fate divested? Invested. See, when you divest something, you get out of something, people. That's not divest. It should be invested. So we don't know what divest mean, really? And you work for, suppose you have a big paper in Jamaica, and somebody who's reading, where's the editor who's reading this? You know what divest mean? I misinterpret divest. When you divest an investment, you get rid of an investment. And you say we should get out of it. No, you use that word divest. But anyway, we keep going. 7 World Cup cycles have passed since then. I won't read each of them. None has borne success. Yet, there's still a chance to qualify through FIFA's Intercontinental Playoffs next March. We get with a knockout match against New Caledonia, followed by the winner facing DR Congo for the World Cup spot. Jamaica's inability to gain automatic qualification for this 2022-2026 World Cup cycle is the worst. And we won't disagree with that one. It's the worst because it was the easiest. Don't disagree with that one either. Next year's World Cup will consist of 48 teams, an increase of 16 countries from the 2022 tournament. Never before has the World Cup catered to 48 countries, with CONCACAF countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico hosting the tournament. The CONCACAF region was guaranteed 6 automatic spots at the World Cup, with 3 going to the host. The World Cup draw placed Jamaica in an all-Caribbean playoff group with lowly teams Curacao, Trinidad and Tobago, and Bermuda, respectively. There should be a comma, by the way, people have to respectively. You can't go respectively to the rank. You got to put a comma to show that each of the individual teams align with each of the individual ranking. So punctuation is not the strength either. Ranked by FIFA at 88, 99, 100, and 168. Never before had Jamaica been so lucky to draw such inferior competition in a World Cup playoff. And now it says watershed moment. For the Reggae Boys, watershed moment in 1998, practically all the players in the team were born, bred, and developed in their country, in their talent in this country. And let me say this. So you know what? I gotta make comments when I go through. Jamaica was going nowhere before those 3 Englishmen turned up. Let me repeat that, people. Go back and check where they were in the zone. Until Burton, Simpson, and Hall turn up, they wouldn't go nowhere. They wouldn't struggle big time. So we remember things what we want to remember because it suits our narrative. Robbie Hurrell came also, but he got injured. Okay? Anyway. There were even Jamaicans who sacrificed professional contractual obligation overseas to join the national program, like players like Altiman Butler, who I know pretty well, who I play some football with, Paul Wanade Young, so nicknamed for his regular goal contribution, and Walter Boyd, the leading goal scorer for Jamaica's World Cup qualifying. So they sacrificed. Walter Boyd played. Walter Boyd was a problem child. That's why him and Simonis never get along. We have narratives, and we put things in such context where it satisfies the narrative that we want to espouse. That's what we do. Yes, I know Freddie and Paul Young got dropped for English players, and that was unfortunate, but it happens. Nobody's guaranteed a spot. The squad also included the United Kingdom-born and bred trio of Paul Hall, Dan Burton, and Fitzroy Simpson, who show commitment by paying their fears to come to Jamaica. People, you show commitment by paying your fears to come to Jamaica and try for the team, contributing over the last half of the campaign. We did nothing in the first half of the campaign. And it's when they come in, the campaign changed. And because they pay their fear, that's showing commitment. Wow. So if they don't pay their fear, if you have to pay their fear, you wouldn't show commitment. No licky too much. The Reggae Boys endure tough moments in that series. You want people to spend their money to come play it. You think the local players will just spend for their money to come play so? Oh, I forgot. They're innately committed. They go party at night time when they have a game next day or the day afterwards. They go training. Anyway, there's a famous fight in Mexico with the club team, Torres Neza. Jamaica team bus was stoned again in Mexico. I don't know why all this makes sense, but anyway, after losing 2 when the World Cup qualifier at the Azteca. For that World Cup qualifier, the players, coaching staff, and management were detaining buses at the Azteca Stadium by the hostile crowd for more than 2 hours. Then the Red Boys were given a cow pasture loaded with dunk to train in Honduras and got involved in a midnight fight later that evening with natives intent on depriving them of sleep ahead of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying match the next evening. I have no idea how this linked into what you're trying to say. You're trying to say they went through a lot of tribulations? Really? We're not even near it. You're making a point. Get to the point. Players admitted after all that, several local based players were left out of the final squad for the World Cup finals in France at the expense of English-based players who were approached to play during the qualifier. So what he's trying to say, people, is that all these players went through all these fights and all these difficult circumstances, and they were left off the bus, which is no different from any other team in any other parts of the world where You're not guaranteed a spot if somebody along comes better. But hey, I'm going to say. And by the way, the players didn't pick themselves. Simonis wanted the new players in because you know what he had? They weren't good enough to get when they get to the World Cup to compete. Locals Young, Butler, Chris Zadie were excluded for speaking up about the inclusion as unfair of the British professionals selected for the World Cup who had never kicked a ball in qualifying. Hey, blame Burrell then, and blame Simonis. In that lot were Robbie Earle, Darryl Powell, Fran Sinclair, and Marcus Gale. The matter of commitment has, 20 years later, again come up in focus with the JFF still indicating an interest in Mason Greenwood, the former Manchester United striker who qualifies for Jamaica because of lineage. Well, the kid is not rushing to come play. So you guys are fighting the whole thing. He ain't rushing to come play. Sound like a personal problem to me. Ironically, the ball comes from English-based players in the Jamaica team who qualify by virtue of lineage. Isaac Hayden, the call comes from them, not the ball. And Amar Bell, who says his inclusion for the World Cup would be unfair, noting he had ample opportunities to have committed earlier. And it's a fair point on their part. They're allowed to say what they want to say. Even though Hayden took forever to commit. The shoe's on the other foot, but there's no denying their point is valid. Those players, like others in the setup, had pledged their allegiance earlier and backed with contributions on the playing field. I want to play for Jamaica for a year, and there was some resistance to me when I started. But I have played 12 games, and everyone can see my passion and the way I play the game. Hayden said, I give everything on the pitch, and I want to be there to help Jamaica progress to the World Cup. I'm sorry to tell you, Hayden, but there are a lot of people who said you're not committed because you're run on and kick down people. So I don't know what you're talking about. He added, the JFF are obsessed with the names and trying to recruit more players. They want to have the best team on the pitch, but I said to the JFF, if a player is not willing to commit for the last round of qualifying, unless they are injured, I do not see why they should be joining the group in March or at the end of the season if we qualify. Hayden is right. So this is the writer's perspective now. However, the JFF's obsession appears to be more than just players, but with players in the United Kingdom professional system and remnants from a colonial system which has induced the belief that foreigning is better. Wow. So you're saying Jamaica has the view that foreigning is better and it comes from colonial. The concept of foreigning is better is all over the world. There's legitimacy to that foreigning is better. I think Curacao believes that foreign was better. I think Morocco probably believes that foreign is better. Actually, I don't think they think it's better. I think they believe that it can enhance what they're doing. I think the US think that foreign is good for their team because they recruit a lot of them. I can name you a ton of countries. France, one of them, that foreign is good to help them. Wow, interesting. The penchant for selecting English-based players of unproven worth ahead of locals was greater during the last half of the World Cup cycle, especially the previous coach, Steve McLaren, who just loaded new players into the Reggae Boy setup at every turn. Now the chickens are coming home to roost, unearthing issues of player unity and commitment while there remains no cutoff for selection. I haven't heard this player issues of commitment. What the commitment of Greenwood has never played for Jamaica. Greenwood never come and say going to play for Jamaica. Is this about Greenwood or is it about holistically the entirety of the players who were born in England? This adds to, by the way, people, even though this was written by Boyd, the Gleaner published this. So that means the Gleaner is supportive of this. Boyd can't publish something on his own. He has to be supported by his bosses. This adds to the question of leadership in a team. Even as the vice captain, Damian Lowe, an aggressive, hard-nosed player who's not deficient in talent compared to others being selected ahead of him, has been sitting on the bench. You're a effing hypocrite, you writer. Damian Lowe is on the bench because Damian Lowe ain't got no team and you're not playing no football. Stop it. And Damian Lowe's spot was taken by a locally born player in Richard King. This is unbelievable. Best talent available. This is heading. I feel sick reading this again, people. I probably should stop, but I'm going to go anyway. There's great danger in the denial of optimum opportunities for born and bred Jamaicans not being part of the process that selects the best possible teams to represent the country. In 1998, when the Reggae Boys qualified for France, that year to 2001 represented the most successful period in Jamaica's football when 3 men's football teams led by the senior Reggae Boys qualified for a senior and age group on the 17 and under 20 World Cups. By the way, right, I should tell you, the under 20 team was mainly local that got 15 love in 3 games I keep talking about over and over again. The under 17 team was a lot locals and some US that couldn't win to go to the World Cup in the same qualification group like we had now for the senior team. Mainly locals and some overseas US, not English-born players. No under 17, no under 20, had a lot of English-born players. There probably was maybe one from England, the under 17, maybe one or two for the under 20. It was mainly locally born players. We had 14 players from all the big clubs I've talked about ad nauseum who want to play for the under 20 who weren't allowed to play. But because a lot of you morons in Jamaica who were in traditional media don't follow the football really close, you read all this crap. Let me keep going. Players like Ricardo, I promise I was going to be calm today. Now I don't know why I'm getting excited. Players like Ricardo Baby Gardner went from schoolboy selection at Wilmot's Boys to captain in Walton Wanderers in the English Premier League. Ian Pepper Goodinson rose from Kingston Major League to British football. Many other players at both junior and senior levels got professional breaks like Keith Kelly, another Wolmerian, who got picked from the Youth World Cup by France, Paris Saint-Germain, and Sean Fraser, who went on to play with success in Brazil, joined the legendary Alan Skill Cole as Jamaicans to play in the football mad country. Oh, Lord. These World Cup squads consist of nearly 100% player born, bred, and developed in Jamaica. Real football quality exists in this country. Financial benefits. Football is a lucrative sport with chances aplenty for the very talented. Local clubs spend millions developing talent each season, around 40 million for Premier League outfit. Very little chance to recoup that spend. And I don't know what he's talking about. Is that Jamaica Premier League? Is that English Premier League? Is that 40 million Jamaican dollars? I have no idea what he's talking about. International markets with sale and transfer of players are the main route through which clubs could benefit. Let's get to the real story. This is about player sales overseas. That's where we get to the real story. That gap needs to be plugged, but only a willingness to enhance player, club, national development by affording equal opportunities at the national level will enhance that cost. So what he's basically saying is that we need to forgive the youth a break. Make a man eat our food. That's what I'm going to say. McLaren is gone, but he was the latest coaching conduit for the magnanimous failure of British player recruitment for World Cup qualification. The English coach had a 44-player World Cup watch list. The breakdown showing 22 UK-born players, 19 Jamaican-born, 2 born in the United States, and 1 born in the Netherlands. Opportunities for national selection should be far greater for locals. This is Jamaica, a country of strong-willed people, talented enough, including football, to fit any unit representative of these shores on the global stage. JFF must ensure an equal opportunity in fulfilling its own and the country's goals and ambitions. It's time to end the English experiment, and this is Audley Boyd, Gleaner, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that was Boyd's perspective. Let me hear what you guys have to say before I jump into this, because I have a lot to say. A lot to say. That was a tiresome read. Tiring read. Let me hear what you have to say. Let me go back up this chart. Often tech people or local players are lacking academy training and are exposed during qualifiers. You're doing the same thing that they're doing. What does that mean, Leon Griffith? It should be the best players, really. Glad me, no. Kranky, I wish you could get these so-called editors on your program for an interview to really understand what their objective for an article like this. Nah, they're not coming. Why would they? That means Robert is dedicated. No player born on the island should play in the country. What does that mean, Leon Griffith? Leon Griffith, say what's on your mind, Leon. Leon, you're taking this out of context, aren't you? But you're like the regular people who are of the same perspective, Leon. Nobody said if you're born on the island, you shouldn't play. In fact, if you're good enough, you should play. But here's the thing, Leon. Leon, you guys don't answer the question. And Leon Griffith, Leon, call into the phone, Leon. The number I run. Call into the phone, Leon. Call in, Leon. Call in. A WhatsApp number, you can call in. Because I need the explanation as to why the under 20 and under 17 teams fail if we have so much talent on the goddamn island. Come, Leon, tell me why they failed so miserably with same qualification zones as we had for the national team. They didn't even come close to qualifying. Well, the under 17 came close to qualifying, but they had a slam dunk. DJ says, Kranky, have you ever think to yourself, every time we do some madness that involves JFF, it's always something with UK players in the media? Yeah, I mean, here's what's interesting, people. I'm gonna go through your comments first, and I have my comments. Because I think there's something which I see, which is a theme running here. Eight of our starting 11 players were out of form, not getting any club minutes. Curacao players were in form and active. Okay. That's true also. Let me just say, the three English players was not on the team would made it work. I was talking crap, sir. I think the facts borne it out. The team was struggling at the bottom of the pile. Go check 98. Don't read 97. It's not even 98. Go back and check what was happening. Go back and check then. Don't talk crap. Go back and check what was happening in 1997, 99, that time period, and tell me that we were that great. We were struggling till English-born players come in. Simpson out there running all day. Hall scoring goal and Bert in the middle doing his thing. If you guys don't like it, too bad. Hate to tell you that. Too bad. I know Flex, but people like, what's his name? Just said that. People seem to have this memory that this Jason H7M, our memory seemed to have eluded us. Like the memory that we have about what transpired. You know, like how Trump is trying to, I should mention his name. You know, I get squeezed on them. Anyway, you know, like how, I need to cut that out of my video. Can't mention his name. For some reason. YouTube give me a hard time. You know, like how people want to change narrative over time? So all of a sudden, the whole dynamics change, the whole narrative change because it's convenient. That's what they're doing. I am shameless after we see our foreign players flop. At the last game in the National Stadium, it was played between Curacao and Jamaica. At the end of the game, we had six locally born players on the field. We had Blake, we had King, we had Dixon, we had Nicholson, we had Cephas, we had Whisper. We had six locally born players on the field. And in fact, take out Whisper, who came in the last 10 minutes. For most of the second half, we had five locally born players on the field. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Okay? Five locally born players on the field. And Nicholson has been missing goalie missing Curacao, goals against Curacao at home. He missed all the goals and they ain't cussing him. What you guys like to do is be in your little hole that you're in, your little world you live in, with your G's on the corner, and on the corner conversation talking about the Englishman and the problem. The problem is not the Englishman. The problem is right in front of you, but you can't see the problem because you have blinkers on. Now, maybe the Englishman, what they should do is just stay at them goddamn yard and don't come nowhere. Because then what we going to talk about? They give us hope. We ain't getting no hope on just local born players alone. Local born players contribute, but they're not the hope. Trust me. Because they've been poorly coached, poorly managed, poorly supported, and the result materializes on the field. When I said Jamaican team won a game outside of the Caribbean, please tell me that, Jason, when has Cavaliers won a game outside they represent Jamaica in the last 2 years, won a Caribbean championship. When have they won a game outside the Caribbean? Please tell me. By the way, should the women's team also not have any foreign-born players in it? So long as we're talking about foreign-born players, people. Should the women's team not have any foreign-born players in it? Because I heard somebody talking about it this weekend. I heard Lucas Sharpman say hat-trick were scored by Bunny Shaw and by Jodie Brown. He must say nothing but the who scored the other hat-trick for the women's team. Because that's how they think. It can only be locally born players. So for the women's team, maybe we should only have, you know what we should do? Just have locally born players for the women's team and for the men's team at all levels. That's what we should do. We would be wonderfully successful. Because we have great players who are well supported by the JFF, who are doing a wonderful job. The JFF is excellent. That's what we should do. Amazing. We're not going to go off topic, DC. DC, we're not going off topic. We'll stay on topic. We'll come back to that later. No. I think Jason would disagree with that. Langsley. Blake, I think Jason would disagree with that. We would disagree with that. There are a lot of players in the JPL who think could do really well in these qualifiers. We're just not giving the guys a chance. Shakir says, I'm locally born and bred and felt sick listening to that article. Or, yeah. Locally born players are behind their development, introducing those U20 players. Yeah, it would have been good to introduce the players, but the JFF decided not to. No, I didn't actually. That's interesting. Walter had the same sentiment, didn't he? He didn't mention Walter in that article and all the trouble Walter gave in 98, did he? That was very convenient. He talked about all the things that's there, but all of a sudden, the roads being blocked to allow Walter to play was giving Simonis all that problem. That wasn't mentioned. That's interesting. United Jamaica was 5th in the qualifiers. Okay. Are we getting the best players to represent the national team, or are we trying to open the door to develop players to sell them an opportunity? I think locally people want the players to be sold. But even then, if they're not good enough, they could play for the national team all they want. They ain't going to get no chance to play. They ain't not going to go there. Kranky, the JPL is Jamaica's main problem. And the players can match up with the world-class players. Yeah, I mean, we know that. We don't have the problems in track and field. The women seem to be doing fine. Even though the women is mainly overseas-born players, frankly. Only in Jamaica you see people worrying about local league. Look at the team that beat us now at the players were born in. Yeah. Yeah, people don't see that, people. They're very localized, and they think, because they're influenced by the radio stations. And so let me just give my perspective a little bit here on all of this, because it's really interesting. Good night. Hello?
Yeah, is this Kranky?
This is Kranky, yes.
Hey, Kranky, yeah. Audley Boyd is related to Walter Boyd. I had this conversation with him back in the 98 campaign,
right,
when he was uttering the same nonsense, right? But here's my issue, and I dropped something in the chat, it was another channel, I think, or another, what you call it, I forgot. Anyway, so I dropped something early on your page here. I think there's something more pernicious about this, right? If you look at the picture that these guys used in the Gleaner, and I agree with you 100%, the Gleaner is complicit on all of this stuff, right? If you look at the picture, they used Catamarti's picture. Why did they have to do that, right? You have Gray, you have Antonio. Those guys have been around a lot longer. They're in the program, right? Why do you use the lightest person on the team?
Well,
Why?
he mentioned the colonialism, right? So you have to link those, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And to have the Gleaner buy into this, it's really shameful.
Well, no, it's not surprising. It's been a theme since the World Cup qualifier failed. Listen to all the radio stations, listen to the television station, whether it's CVM and Omar McFarlane, whether it's Hits with Maverick, whether it's Orville on KLAS. To me, they all want the same, where they allow Rudolph to come on, explain away his role, explain away his lack of culpability, and put it off on the coach and the players.
No, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And going back a little bit further, right? So we made it to the U17 World Cup in New Zealand, I believe it was, right? All local players. We made history. We didn't score a single goal, right? We made it to the U20 World Cup. World Cup, I think it was in Argentina, and we repeated that feat. We got hammered in the last U20 qualification with mostly local players. So what is it? Is it that we expect overnight that these people should progress from the U20 to the senior team, and all of a sudden they're playing great? It doesn't happen.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're not progressing to the senior team for the junior, because those players who play for the U20 who got 15-0, they're not good enough to transition to the senior team.
Right, exactly. But these guys are I think they're living in another world. It's their imagination that these players can progress from being subpar, right? Okay, I believe in late development, but as a team, from being subpar to playing at the international level, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and you hear Rudolph. Rudolph was interviewed by The Observer. I talked about that yesterday. And part of it was he was extolling the virtues of all that they've accomplished, yet it's not materializing on the field. whether it's coaching, whether it's youth development. And I get information that basically says some things that is been communicated in the public domain sounds good on paper, but it's not really actuality. It's not factual. Some of it. It's not factual. In terms of progress or development or that, it's not factual.
Yeah, the local product needs development. It's poor, right? The fields are poor, diet is likely poor, coaches are poor, right? But even so, given the way the game is played and how some of these countries, if not all these countries without big leagues and things like that, source players from their overseas community, it would be foolish to go back to pre-1998, right? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, good night.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call, sir. Good call. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So let me say this, people, which is this. I've always said this. The best player should play. I don't care where the player is born. Tired of saying it. If the players are locally born and the player is not at the right level, the man mentioned Damian Lowe. His article loses its substance and loses truthfulness when you talk about Damian Lowe not getting a chance to play. And I heard somebody just call and talked about that the other day. Damian Lowe is not playing because Damian Lowe is not playing any football. It's one thing to be part of a club, and a lot of players, by the way, not getting a lot of minutes, whether it's Pinnock or Russell or Cephas or Dixon. But at least they're in club in a training environment. Damian Lowe don't have a club. So they should, just like Latiba Deer hasn't played any football all year, even though he's at Coventry of a club, that's why he ain't getting no game. Damian Lowe ain't playing no football. How are you going to get game? How are you going to replicate game time when you're not playing any football? Training on your own can't do it. Lati's training in an environment, even though he had knee problems. But he wasn't played, and he was left out of the squad when he went to Trinidad and didn't play the last game, even though I think he's our best defender. So why are we going to give Damian game time when Damian is not playing any football? Even though we agree Damian is a good player and a player who play with a lot of the attributes that you want in your player and take no, he has a die-hard attitude. I mean, I still don't understand what the Gleaner allowed this to happen. The Gleaner wrote this article. The person name is just on it. They support it. The English experiment has been an expensive, inconsistent, emotional, draining failure. Yeah, we all agree we're disappointed going to the World Cup. But put in context, the issues about the JFF, lack of adequate leadership, lack of planning, lack of preparation and structure, not just diaspora players. Yes, the players own this in some respects and are culpable, but this is just about the players. Which media outlet in Jamaica is giving the JFF a difficult time with us? Please tell me the media outlet. Maybe I'm missing this because maybe I don't see everything. I listen to Speed on Observer. I listen to Speed on KLAS. I'm sorry. These were some of the worst interviews I've ever observed ever. And I hear people like Paul, what's his name, coming here saying, Paul Edwards saying it's one of the best interviews ever. Of course it's going to be one of the best interviews ever. Because appeared, when you're Jamaican, there's a thing, I did myself now, called butt up and catch. When you're playing cricket, you throw the ball and I hit up in the air. That's why they gave Speed in his interview. Good night, Kishan. What's up?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kranky. A lot of these people in Jamaica work in the media, they're very old and outdated, like the infrastructure in Jamaica. You get me? I say that is the truth. A lot of these people, Kranky, they don't know football. A lot of them, they don't keep up with football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait. You know, Kishan, I heard my call in him. You heard Maverick said the other day, matter about midfield, and he talked about Malachi Douglas and Lamar Walker. Because Rudolph Speed says Jamaica don't produce the midfield of the quality that we need to be national team. And he mentioned those two players. Truly mentioned those as quality midfielders who should be probably be in the national. I mean, you can't make that up.
Let me say this, right? I'm always hear JD say in terms of like Jamaicans aren't special. We are not God's favorite children. You know what I'm saying? As much as many Jamaicans would like to think that, the reality is that you have a lot of countries out there who take things seriously in terms of football and they put proper measures in place to have success in football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in that said article, the guy's going to mention, we're hardworking people. I mean, Kranky, so I'm sure they're hardworking as well, if not more than Jamaicans. I'm sure many other countries out there are hardworking and they put blood, sweat, and tears in whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Jamaica have the brand in terms of we look and we Talawa, because we have had accomplishments over the years. But that's not just because we look and we Talawa. It's just due to the fact that we have put in the work. We have had good people in these respective fields that help talented individuals to get where they are, such as like track and field. Unfortunately, in football, it's not really the case. You know what I'm saying? To the extent that we would like. But when you look at this, Kranky, in terms of football and Jamaica's development, I think there's so many countries out there, right? In terms of small nations with some success in terms of football, that they have many blueprints that Jamaica should be following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of arrogance about the people who are running the football. I sent the strategy for Spain to somebody in JFF, and I asked him what he did with it, and he basically said he threw it away. And I said,
look at this.
And I thought, yeah, that's why we're not going anywhere, because you don't know how to leverage information from other organizations that have done well to help you in the program.
Them might say them not have no money, right? Look at this. There are many things I see YouTubers do, right, Kranky? Where I would like to have that intro. I would like to edit like that, whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these people pay for Adobe Premiere, $100 a year, blah, blah, blah. And unless you have those programs, it's the only way you're going to have certain things where you can edit a thumbnail a certain way. You know what I do? I try to find the best way possible that I can replicate something that one of the big YouTubers do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have Adobe Premiere, but I have Canva, and I do extensive research with a ChatGPT or whatever the case is to see the best way possible that I can replicate what this person is doing. So
I think you should, by the way, you should use vidIQ, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, me use vidIQ, but just I say, me try to get the best possible thing that is as close to that in some sense. You know what I'm saying? Until maybe one day I decide to, I'm going to pay for Adobe Premiere. So a lot of these blueprints out there, yes, it might cost money, but you can still look at it and take things from it that you can at least do to a certain extent that will benefit.
So explain to people what you're saying. I mean, what you said. Explain to people what you're saying. You're saying you don't always have to have all the money to be good.
Exactly.
Right? You can actually leverage what people are doing, find workarounds to get there. If you don't have the resources, do it the way that they have done it.
Example, Gunners, right? One time you tell me, say, one of the best things to do to grow in this space, right? You look at the big YouTubers overseas, you take from them and you bring it in your region. Because guess what? Maybe not many people will be accustomed to what they're doing over there. And even if they're accustomed to it, many people in our region, they aren't doing those things. Right. So if you are one individual within the reggae boy space that takes something from like an Arsenal Fan TV or like a Mark Goldbridge that is foreign to our region and you bring it, maybe due to the quality of it, many people will latch on to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you don't have the money like those people, but you're just taking something where you can just, leverage off them or whatever the case is, and you make something out of nothing. You make something as close to what they would have produced in some sense, right? You bring it to a region where it's a growing thing in terms of YouTube or football YouTube, and people will see the quality and be like, oh, it's similar to that guy or whatever the cases are. Oh, this is even more quality than these other respective people. You know what I'm saying?
So your question is, what's the JFF? Who's the JFF leveraging to help them grow the football program, make it get better?
I mean, at this point, nobody.
And the question is, why is that?
Because I don't.
Or maybe they're leveraging Trinidad because that's where they get their training, but Trinidad is not working.
When you about A license, I'm like, come on, be serious. A license, CONCACAF.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try diminish his like qualification, but like let's be serious. Like we have so many more qualified coaches out there. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at these African countries, like oftentimes I wonder like where they find these quality even black coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's many out there, Kranky. There's many out there. Even the guy from Senegal. You think some of these guys wouldn't want the opportunity to coach Jamaica, Kranky? Like, come on, they would want the opportunity. And in some respect, I don't think they're demanding as much money as even maybe a Steve McLaren or some of these guys from Europe.
Yeah. Look, I think the traditional media is compromised and complicit in what they're doing.
That was I think that's one of the worst articles I've seen in my life, if not the worst. Trust me.
No, I think the traditional media is only getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, if you go to the conference and listen to some of the questions that they ask, you realize the degradation of the media is at its all-time low, and it's only getting lower. It's really sad. And that someone could actually allow someone to write this and publish it in the public domain because they want to sell a certain narrative. I mean, the narrative is now spiraling across Jamaica in the sports arena about it's the English-based players' fault that we don't make World Cup. That's what you're hearing.
Kranky, you see, the guys that these people have, I think they're misguided. Kranky, let me tell you, where would I own it was the English player then? You see, if the squad was like, if it consisted of like 23 guys playing in the English Premier League and then fail to make the World Cup, Kranky, and we're talking about first teamers, would have come out strongly and say, oh, the Englishman, them not good. Because guess what? They're playing at the highest level first team football, Kranky, right? But when you look at this Reggae Boys team, and I think if you do extensive research compared to any other team in international football, the Reggae Boys team is consisted of individuals who they are at the back end of their career. Many of them are not playing first team football. Unfortunately, sometimes they're picking up injuries. And then you have some youngsters in the team who sometimes get first team minutes more times often than not on the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have youth who are up and coming. You have older guys who are at the back end of their career. Some of them lucky enough to still play first team to an extent. So when you have that inconsistency in terms of the mixture of the squad, it affects you over a period of time. And that's why I'm saying, yes, Jamaica beat the smaller team them, and sometimes we get away with beating these teams, but eventually it catch up to us. And against Curacao, against Trinidad, it eventually catch up to the team. And yes, one might say McLaren never selected the right team, or he selected the right overall squad, but he never selected the right players on the day. That argument could be made as well. But in terms of the whole construction of the squad, there's so much inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, the entirety of the process was poorly planned and executed and materialized in us not making the World Cup. Poorly. It was poorly. And the party that owns all of this, owns it, is the JFF. They select the coach. They supposed to recruit the players, and they don't know how to recruit, or they don't make the effort to recruit because they're ambivalent about that. And they're the ones who carry out whatever is required to be carried out to get us to where we are. And the failure rests in their laps. And it's shocking to me that the local media, traditional media, even some of the YouTubers, I must say it too, some of the YouTubers are either silent or not saying anything. It's like everybody is part of this whole group where they all are pushing blame to parties other than where the blame should reside. I find that amazing, actually. I actually find it reprehensible that we're having these conversations about the situation.
What I want to know is, some of the countries them over Africa obviously get players in the Premier League and them top league there. I never really see them play in a national team to get sell.
No, because Africa, they do have academies, you know. Especially in Ghana, they have academies where people from England, you hear Antonio, why didn't Antonio invest in an academy in Jamaica, but he invest in an academy in Ghana, for example?
Players will go back.
Yeah. Mani and all of them.
Cases, right?
Yeah. Mani and all of them invest in academies. Yeah.
They develop talented individuals, right?
Yeah.
These talented individuals, whatever clubs they attach to, eventually they play under 20. Oftentimes they perform so good against the bigger European countries or whichever country, and the United, the Arsenal, the blah 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 come in for these talented individuals. Real Madrid, Barcelona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for Jamaica, if we can invest in more academies, this emphasis on each Premier League club invest 40 million in a player and them need to make it back at the expense of the national team, Kranky. Let's be honest. You know if you say it, but Jamaica Premier League players or Jamaican Premier League players aren't good enough to take Jamaica to the promised land. They are not good enough. If you put out a full 23 Jamaica Premier League team, then would have still probably finished second. And some people might say, oh, well, then would have finished second, not much difference to the Englishman them. But if that's the case, then make we just disband the football if nobody now go really make the football progress. You get me, I say?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's actually, the problem with the JFF is the people in charge believe that they're the epitome of excellence and intellect and whatever is good, and they know what good looks like. And then you see the output, and then you realize that they are struggling. They don't have clarity. They actually don't know what good looks like. And it manifests itself in the local football arena and in the international arena in terms of how they have operated. And That's why we're struggling. The problem lies at the head of the chain, not the middle, not the bottom. Those components, the players and others, obviously have some culpability, but it's the JFF. Why is that so difficult to see?
I mean, we see it, and the people watching the live, they also see it as well. And we talk about this every day. You know what I'm saying? But for those invested in the position of power, they don't see it, or they see it, but they don't care.
But the coach didn't select themselves. The players didn't select themselves. When a team goes to a tournament with two midfielders, and you hear me say this, people have to repeat these things because you can't believe it in them. Repeat them 101 times. It tells you everything. And the technical advisor was there. This is not like something where, you know what, nobody from JFF was. And the JFF get the information before we get it as public. They should ask the question, why we have two midfielders in the team?
Speed, I go say, the board never trust McLaren. If you don't trust somebody, you get rid of them, right? At the end of the day, this thing about advisor role, Kranky, if McLaren, man I go say, yes, Speed know the region. Kranky, despite how everybody think about McLaren failing in England, if McLaren need a man to tell him about tactics in the region or against a small Caribbean opponent, he doesn't deserve to be in the job. You should have get rid of him from day one.
Well, you hear me say this a lot of time that McLaren was a lazy hire, and he was a lazy manager and a lazy coach.
But whether he's a lazy hire,
no. What I mean is a lazy hire. But what made it worse, he was lazy in his job. He came to Jamaica, spent a couple of days, go back to England, didn't do anything until he got late when he realized the team wasn't playing well. You know when the light bulb started coming to him when he played the US in St. Louis, he started realizing, oh my damn, this is not what I expected. I expect my little English players, the players I brought in from England, to just dominate. They're not dominating. We have a problem. But why would you hire a coach? Hire, right? One second, 43. Why would you hire a coach who didn't you interview the coach? Like go on, person. It's amazing. Huh?
The mere fact that they installed the advisor. Me never hear a coach have an advisor before. Never.
But it seemed like it's more of a monitor. I'm gonna monitor the coach. But you're gonna monitor the coach for what?
Yeah, I'm monitoring because clearly you don't know what I do.
Apparently.
He come out and radio and say the board never trust the man. You get me? I say, and then Michael Ricketts have the audacity to come out and say, oh, I saw the signs. I should have fired him from earlier. Well, one man I say we never had the money. I know, and next man I say, me see the sign for a long time. Then if you see the sign, you don't fire the man. If me see a bunch of man with hoodie, they're on the right side of the road. Am I going to walk there? I am not going to walk there if there are mass individuals down there. I'm not going to walk there. I'm going to take the left side of the road. So if you see danger, you know, get out of danger. As them saying,
you know what's consistent about the JFF people? You know what's consistent? They never take accountability. Never. When the under 20 got crucified and destroyed down in Central America, when they did, they rolled out the under 15 to camouflage it. In fact, I was told, somebody in JFF told me that that's what happened. I assumed that was what happened, but somebody in JFF told me that's what happened. They're like, what do you want to come us and say? We failed. So we put the under 15 to appease people. Hello.
Last remark before me leave. Yeah. You know, so the North Korea must be under something girls win World Cup.
North Korea, yeah. Was it
North
under 17?
Korea.
Yeah.
Not no fake World Cup people, real World Cup. Not no fake tournament around the corner where North Korea put on themselves.
Yeah.
So just imagine that. North Korea went highway from the world.
Yeah.
But big up to Manchester United still.
If you didn't say that, bless up. They said that to kill you, didn't they? Wouldn't it to kill you? Good win. Don't get lucky, but good win. What else am I gonna say, people? So let me go back to say the diaspora truth. I would say this because it's really frustrating to hear that nonsense. If you think about diaspora players, one, they increase the talent pool. Two, they have better access development system because they're more in first world countries. Three, and I hear this say in Jamaica more recently, they are more professional than the locally born players. And that's not, and especially the recent situation sort of justify that, but it's only one example. They're more professional. I would think that given how much the diaspora contribute to Jamaica, that Jamaica would embrace diaspora and consider it to be part of the fabric of Jamaica. Not to berate, belittle, disparage to ostracize or try to ostracize the diaspora. It's amazing when I see that. Now, if we think about the recent interview, the media seem to be protecting the JFF. I don't know what the story is, people. Seem to be protecting the JFF, which I find weird. If you look at Speed's interview on KLAS with Orville, who both interviewed Speed and Omar McFarlane, if you see early interview that was held between Maverick and Speed when they were talking about the lack of midfield, if you see the interview on The Observer with Speed, you would think Speed employed these people. Like, seriously. I found it amazing. I'm listening to the interview thinking, we just got knocked out of the World Cup, and none of the media outlets are beating the JFF 24/7. So, like, this failure is abominable, is abomination unto you know who. How could this happen? Heads out to roll. And you know what I hear on this station? Well, it's an electoral process. We can't get rid of them. Well, you put no pressure on them. I've seen in situations where people who own teams make decisions because they got pressure. I wonder what will happen if the overseas born players say, you know what, we ain't playing in these upcoming tournament. We ain't playing more football for Jamaica. We're not coming here. You guys don't like us. But you know what? I wouldn't do that if it was an overseas born player. You know what? Because you know what? It's a fight for Jamaica's soul and them to own Jamaica. People like Boyd, whoever the hell he is, you don't own Jamaica. You don't control Jamaica. The JFF don't want those players, and the JFF want to win. And the JFF know locally born players, a lot of them are not the level they need to be to compete on the global stage. The local media is avoiding criticism of the JFF. It's amazing. I think part of it, they're depending on access. So imagine if Orville from KLAS or Zidane or Maverick or Observer can't get access to Speed and the JFF. That's news that they don't allow to get to provide to their readers. Right? So maybe that's one of the reasons. Or because they are moving the same circle, they can't be criticized. The lack of and that's why they don't know what conflict means. That's why I heard them trying to explain conflict. I have no idea what they were talking about. It's amazing. They don't know what a conflict entails and how conflicts work and how you mitigate conflicts or try to eliminate conflicts. They don't know because they're trying to explain to the public and they struggle because they are conflicted in some way, shape, or form. And the conflict is pervasive across Jamaica. Now, I see National, who was here, who was always trying to beat me. Where's National? National was saying they're going to select the best player. As I said, I know who National is. I'm sure I know who National is. And people be shocked who National is. Look, I mean, Jamaica is going to struggle in football because the JFF is a struggling organization. Same people being recycled, not adding value. That's why Rudolph dominates, because he has no competition. He has no what we call effective challenge. So he's going to be the only brain that's there, and they have to leverage him. Ain't nobody going to challenge Rudolph, because Rudolph has a brain which he uses, sometimes not to the best of the country, to be honest. I know he won't let me say that, but it's a fact. And when Rudolph made his poor decision to recommend the coach for hire, and when he blundered being the technical advisor, he gets rewarded with the national team. You can't make that up. When leadership is dysfunctional, birthplace is irrelevant, people. It doesn't matter where you're born, leadership is dysfunctional. And here's what I find interesting. So when we use only locally born players to play these local games, so for example, we play Peru away, or we play Trinidad, I think 4 times in the last 2 years. We're not destroying Trinidad. We're not even beating Trinidad. We're struggling. I think we played Trinidad 4 times, and we didn't win 3 out of the 4 games. I think maybe 2 were a draw. We won 1 in the last minute header or something, and they won 2. I think they won 2. We won and draw 1, and we won 1. So it's not like the local players are differentiating themselves when they play like a local Trinidad team, which have locally based players. So I'm not sure we're talking about these JPA players if we boss our youth. Can't boss our youth if the youth not ready to get boss. Can't boss our youth if the youth not well trained. If you look at the breakdown for the team, whether it's preparation, logistics, harbor recruiting, youth development, coaching, technical inconsistencies, no style of play, no system of play, internal politics, selection interference, zero long-term philosophy. If you look at all of these things and you couple them together, people, those are the breakdowns that we have. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start the day before. It's been happening for a while now. So they want to go back to 98 and talk about, it was mainly a local team and we achieved. We are 27 years on. And here's another thing. The world has changed. The world has changed materially in the last 27 years. Social media wasn't as pervasive. The world wasn't a global world then. People wasn't mobile, even though the US is trying to restrict us mobility nowadays. Information wasn't shared so readily, so easily, so accessible. What are we talking about? Bless up 1-1. I didn't 1-1. Hey, 1-1 here. The green say no one Englishman number in team. So people, you have to ask the question: is the media protecting the JFF? Is the diaspora being unfairly blamed, or is the blame justified? And who benefits from this narrative? I am really curious. It's amazing. Sir P, somebody said me, Sir P, I started listening to it and I got bored and put it down. Brain drain. I started listening to Sir P and I got bored and put it down. Because if he's in Jamaica, he's going to have some of the same narrative. So I haven't really listened to it. Somebody sent it to me today. I was busy. I started listening to it and just got bored and put it down. So maybe I'll go back and listen to it. And if his crap is the same, I'm going at him same way too. Don't make a difference who we are. Those who run the media control the minds of the people, control the minds of the people. The good thing is now we have more than one. Yeah, people not listening to them all, you know what we call them nowadays. People not listening to some of those people. People have different ways to get their news. People can determine authenticity and can follow and engage with those people who they believe will provide them information that's independent, that's objective, and where they haven't succumbed to nepotism, they haven't succumbed to a situation where the news is watered down, manufactured. It's about self-interest. People can make up their own minds nowadays. So people don't really watch. I mean, I can't tell when last I go watch NBC or CBS in the US or news on those programs. I may listen to them on YouTube for certain segments they have, but I'm not going to sit down and listen to the nonsense anymore. I used to subscribe to the New York Times. I think I stopped my subscription about 3 years ago. No, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, because I realized that the Gaza situation was being covered from one angle and that they were untruth in some of the coverage. And I decided, you know what? And I was subscribing for them for like 15 years. So my view is that we can get our news from where we want our news. And you want to make sure the news you're getting is authentic news and not news which is coming from source where we live in an alternative world, where in today's world, it seemed like the truth is now a lie and the lie is now deemed to be truth. Falsehoods are now accepted as the truth. You know, the players can't control coaching. The players can control training pitch. And that field in Jamaica is horrible. The players can control structural organization. The players can control the fact JFF ain't got no money. The players have responsibility. They're culpable in this. We're not saying the player should be absolved of our responsibility for this. What we're saying is that the media seem to have their focus not even on the local players, people. Where are these articles that's destroying those individuals who went partying when they had training the next day? Where the unprofessionalism? Where are all these articles? I hear somebody talking about it, they just blow up. Oh, yeah, they're not as professional as they should be. And let's keep going. If 3 Englishmen did that, we'll be here talking about it 24/7, that they're not committed, that they don't love the country, that we should have brought them here. I find it amazing that we are talking the way we are, especially since a lot of countries that qualify, like Haiti and Curacao, most of their teams are comprised of people who play balls outside those countries or are born outside those countries. I find that amazing, actually. Because we didn't make the World Cup, now we want to blame others for us failing. Not others, we're blaming the diaspora-born players versus focusing on the decision makers. Spiro's in a consulting role. Did the coach hire the consultant? Because normally, you want a consultant, you hire a consultant. Or was the consultant thrust upon him? Or did the consultant say, I'm gonna advise you, I'm gonna tell you what to do? Then the consultant say, I assist, I didn't insist. I can't forget that line. It's a great line. So why are you there then? If you were there to protect the country. Well, I guess the consultant became the man. Let me see what the comments are here. So DJ said, I always notice that the things that the players, that some local players should know at a young age, that some of the players. Yeah, no, I mean, the local players are not, they are trained, they're trained to play football. I don't think the human side of it, the mental side of it, is also part of that whole training, that whole development. Kranky, ask him for an interview. Tell him that non-nationalists have some interview. Ask who, Edallo, who should I ask for an interview? Because Speed not interview with me. Hey, Speed, tell him say not interview with me, because you're not chat. Tell him say not interview with me. Rudolph is not interviewing with me. Rudolph banned me from interviewing with me. I would love to interview. Hey, Rudolph, you should let me interview you, Rudolph. I think it's unfair for you to go on all these stations and they give you all these softball questions, which are getting under my skin now. I promise to be professional. Come interview Rudolph. Because people want to know. The question I ask you appear full question. I'm not telling you Rudolph. Appear either question marks. I'm not telling line. All the media use out of them. They don't want to answer the right question them. They're not asking no question. And then ask some follow-up question when you answer the question. Me know say, you say not come up on YouTube, but me see it on YouTube, Rudolph. So you can't say you're not come up on YouTube. You never had some interesting engagement. When you come interview you, the people would like to know. When they interview, see, they call him Sir Speed. Well, maybe it's a sign of respect that they call him Sir Speed. Right? And I think I heard who's that name really well? A YouTuber use that name all the time, actually. Calling him Sir Speed. That's their sign of respect. I have no problem in calling him Sir Speed. What Speed said in the interview and what Speed did in all his roles in JFF shows clear that Speed and JFF was the source of the failure. I mean, if you ever see situations where something happened, if it was in the military, or even, I shouldn't say government as much, in a company, something go really wrong, the person who head the organization is culpable, even though they may be far removed from it. Because it's under their purview. It's their responsibility to make sure things operate in a certain way. You can't absolve yourself from these things that happen when your organization failed and you hire the coach, you recruit the players. It didn't happen by osmosis. You're responsible for it. So how these media outlets, and they call themselves media, and they have the audacity to operate as if they're so elite, and all those YouTubers are not in their space, or shouldn't be in the same room as them, or shouldn't be in their environment. And you listen to some of them, and you're just like, you shouldn't be in this space. You shouldn't be in this environment. You're an embarrassment. That article that being published, it's an inappropriate article, frankly. It's inappropriate. It's not just poorly written, it's an inappropriate article. Seriously. It's a narrative they're trying to sell. I wonder if they consulted the JFF before they wrote the article. I don't know. Maybe the English-born player should take a break from Jamaica and say, you know what? We're going to take a respite, like how the girls did. We're going to just take some time off and let you guys go play who you want to play and do what you want to do and see how you operate. I'd love to see that. Let's give him a break. Because it's hard to fly 9 hours, and not be appreciated, and come into a substandard environment and not be appreciated. Play on substandard fields and not be appreciated. It is difficult, especially when you use a certain way of operating and certain lifestyle. And then you come and people just give you a hard time and don't appreciate you. Hey, nationalists, give me an interview. Anyone? Nationalist Zebev say give me an interview. By the way, let me just say this. I gotta remember this actually. What Zebev says. So at these 4 people. Can't even pull this up, people. Sorry. So Michael Thomas, brain drain of all people, Neville Pennant, D Knowledge, and Zebev, thanks a lot for being members of the channel. On the Glutton for Punishment, and I thank you for joining the Kranky Live program. Appreciate you being members. Members cheap people are $2 something YouTube charge. Now ask me how them come out with a number. Gonna be a member. And as I said, when I get to a certain number, which maybe in a few weeks, I'm gonna have members only like sessions actually. Good night.
Good night.
Who am I speaking to?
Chemo.
What you say, Chemo? You say Chemo?
Yeah, Chemo.
All right, Chemo. Say what you have to say. Floor is yours.
Yeah, man. I did a try calling from yesterday, but yeah, it didn't. More, you know, when you look on the whole situation that take place for the past 2 weeks now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bias in the media. And when you try to split justice and talk it as it is, people say really a big side and you're all for this and you're all for that. Which everybody in the football space all for something.
True.
Even some people all for something even when them know deep down it not good. Understand? Remember, bear in mind, me live in Jamaica. I don't live overseas, but I do have family in the diaspora. You understand? So I could actually never have nothing about my country. Bear in mind, I travel to as well. So when you see some of the things happening, it just bare face. For sure, say there's a bias in also the media, mainstream media that is. Because you mentioned something, say, you see something happen, like players partying, and you don't see anything like that coming out in the media. There nine, the people that are biased now would have said, no, that done gone. That not nothing to do with it, because basically we used to the culture of seeing players having a match the next day or partying before or partying after. So there's no essence behind it.
Right.
I say this to say, regardless of everything, I kind of try condition my mind towards say, here, it is what it is. I'm only a fan, and I basically can do what I can do. Basically, if I help the football, if I want. You understand? Because there are people behind closed door who have played their part as it relates to the reggae boys. You understand? And getting people inside the stadium and all of that, galvanizing the nation. You understand? So, me now, look, we still have a chance. This chance, what we have, should have been an automatic qualification, but no, it is in the playoffs. Based on what we see and know here about this Congo team, you understand? Based on the research where the coach yesterday, the interim coach, sound confident on his interview. You understand? May I try to believe? Yeah. I don't know if
so I have a question for you. Have you done your own research?
On the Congo team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have done my own research. And long before even we knew that we would play Congo, I've been keeping an eye on them based on because I've been keeping an eye on the African qualifiers. You understand? I was watching Nigeria closely if they would qualify, you know.
Right.
And the drama, and now we end up in this kind of drama. I don't think it's beyond us to qualify, but what we don't want to end up in a situation where we go up, we beat a New Caledonia team. No, not underestimating New Caledonia, but we go up against a Congo team, and based on their technical staff and in-game management, they have the tools. You understand? They're equipped with the tools that we don't have, and the experience, so they know what to do in a certain game. And they do have a lot of players already that are playing at a high level and that are playing minutes. And we are now hoping that we can get players over the line that in previous times, we heard about rumors of getting players, and all of a sudden, something magically will happen from now, the 1st of December till March, and we're going to get quality players over the line to come and compete against players.
But didn't you hear wait, let me stop you there, Carl. You didn't hear the Gleaner say no one on foreign born player?
Yeah, they do. That's what the media say. But, I mean, this is the interim manager.
Okay.
You understand? I mean, maybe the narrative will split different because he's a local coach.
Right. So I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you have some familiarity with the Congo team. So how does your perspective and your perception of the team and their abilities align with that of the interim coach and his perspective and his confidence? How does your level of confidence align? Does it line with his, or you have a different view?
As a Jamaican, I'm gonna cling on to hope.
No. Realistically, I want to take the heart out of the matter and use your brain. Yeah.
All right. Realistically, no.
Okay.
No. But because I'm planning on going to that game regardless, you know.
Are you going to Mexico?
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Mexico with me and my family, you know.
Okay.
As a vacation / hopeful qualification.
Okay. Okay.
So 2 for 1. It's basically 2 for 1. I hope it doesn't mash up, you know, the feeling of the vacation. But I'm going here to condition my mind. It would be a great vacation if we actually qualify. You know, we have the memories. I would have the memories to live with for the rest of my life. You understand? And listen, the interim coach getting us across the line to qualify for the World Cup, right? Could actually harm us just as not qualifying. Also,
yeah,
that's the next scary thing. You understand? Because you don't expect him to qualify the team. And listen, I'm just here for two games. I need to find a person that can actually win games at the World Cup. So yes,
I don't think he says you have 2 games, and I think he says more of the board deciding whether or not he should continue.
Yeah, but we all know how when the board decides they're gonna pick him. Because the board, he sees himself fit in the, like he said in the interview, and also the people on the board see him as the person. I don't think that narrative would change, or that feeling would change either. So I'm with us as Reggae Boys fan. That's why we're here every night doing content, watching YouTube, you know, and doing our research. You understand? Because we actually have more knowledge about these teams and what is taking place than some of these mainstream media journalists. You understand? And it's funny because some of the questions we hear them ask and the things you hear them say, they don't really know a lot about
it's not sometimes, it's most times. It's most times, actually. It's most times. It's not even close, actually. I hear him talking about players and you laugh and then you're not following the team. You don't know the players, you know.
I've engaged with some of them and I give them a lot of insight of what's taking place with players at our disposal, and they're like, "Hey, really? This is something that you should know. You guys are trained for this. You guys went to university and you understand?"
Yeah, I hear you, sir. All right, sir.
We have to just hope for the best, yeah. Because we're in it, you know. We're still there, you know. So there's still a chance. But I was watching for about an hour and a half the Fox soccer draw leading up to with Alex Lalas, London Donovan, Kobe Jones, and when they're breaking on again, they basically saying, listen, the Reggae Boys had their chance. We never expect them to be right here in the playoffs. We expect them to get that automatic qualifying spot, knowing that the USA, the Mexico, and the Canada are the hosts. So they shouldn't be here. And the whole world is shocked. You understand? When we find ourselves in the position that we are in now. I mean, let's see.
Yeah, man, we'll see. Appreciate
I'm very optimistic because, I'm very, this is the last thing I'm saying. What makes me very optimistic is because of how the interim coach talked yesterday in that interview. I'm saying, I think this man have something up his sleeve to get us over the line. So, I mean...
I'm a voodoo person that can go. A voodoo person that can go.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. I respect you.
Yeah, man, bless. Thanks for the call, man. Good call. Thanks. Yeah. So let me say this, people. Yes, the interim coach does give the sense of confidence. But is that fool's gold? Is that confidence warranted? Seriously. I don't see us qualifying with this team that played the last game in the National Stadium. Not happening. Now, is it beyond the realm of possibility? Nothing is beyond the realm of possibility. Anything can happen. But from a probability standpoint, not with this team. So I see some comments here. Twain says, I sense that you and Manning's man possibly don't have the same YouTube relationship you all had before. Is there a reason for this, and can you divulge? I'll just say no comment. That's all. No comment. I'm gonna move on. No comment. I don't dodge questions at people, but I have no comment. Leaders in Jamaica don't really have the same. these in Jamaica don't really want to be accountable, blame the workers. Yeah, I don't know if it's Jamaica, but in this case, but it's not even the leaders, it's the media who's blaming the workers and not giving any culpability or any blame to the parties who oversee everything. I find that amazing, actually. How does the media get away with that? Like, how do media get away with that? People, not media, traditional media, but even local YouTube media. And I'm gonna call them out too. They're not saying much about this. They're like silent. No, I know. Look, people, everybody can't be like Kranky, who is not trying to just get access. If I get access, I get access. If I don't, I don't. Right? And some people need to get access, and it's a smart move to get access. But you have to call a spade a spade. I'm sorry, you just have to. I just think it's not a good thing to blame the players and not blame the party who select the players and select the coach. So the coach gets all the blame, management gets no blame. It's amazing. Christopher says, Kranky, been watching your program for a while, a couple of weeks now. Hey, Christopher, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Big up. Kranky, Jamaica will not qualify for the World Cup. I wouldn't say not qualify. I would say it's a slim possibility. Can't definitively say we won't qualify. People, hit the like button, please. And by the way, I dropped in the link for you to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel or become a member or subscribe to the website. I think I dropped 4 things there. Caller, they don't have players, they have a team. Yeah, a team with a lot of good players. Hey, people, I'm telling you something, you know. Then people on the channel, don't forget nothing, you know, people. I was singing the thing about 5 players. I'm going to blame my source. I'm not taking any responsibility, any accountability, any culpability for this. I'm blaming my source. I'm going to be like the JFF. I don't own this. I'm blaming my source. Source gave me information. It wasn't wrong information. It just didn't materialize. So blame and I can't divulge my source. So yeah, but I'm not taking responsibility. Sorry. People say Rudolph attack confident to give them confidence, right? So you get talk confident and you get let down again. That's not good. Speed's not going to recruit any new players. In any event, the top player did come when it was easier. Why would they come now with Mission Impossible? Yeah. He's going to recruit new players. But it's a good question Nitro's asking, why would they come? I think that's part of the problem, actually. I expect Speed to qualify team quite easy, as Rudolph is a new person, different from the Speed persons everyone talking about. Big Ed can't stop this, you know. Big Ed saying Rudolph is not the same Rudolph. It's a different person. We're conflating the two people, and that doesn't work. Brandon say he's going for vacation for the game. Maybe the closest we get to playing him at the World Cup stadiums. What are they playing? Is it Guadalajara and Monterrey, I think, or something like that? Good stadiums. Gary says no. Gary Lynn says no way a man from the previous failed staff should coach. But make we see how it got turned out with the interim coach. I hear you, Nitro. Kranky or 6 up. Yeah, I passed 6K man. I passed 6K. Now I'm playing around with numbers. We are run 12. We not even check 7K. We just check 10K from now on, people. We're not going on 7K. We got 10K straight. So that's me asking me to subscribe, you know. Me asking me to subscribe. If you're not subscribing, what changes the content we are doing to people? Because we can't linger at the bottom now. We not like some people, and that linger thing. We're on our way, right? We're moving on up like the Jeffersons, World Shore. No, I think I saw him on Instagram actually posing. So he scored. I think it's his 3rd goal for the season, isn't it? But no, Cephas is in his position, so he ain't getting that position. They said Russia playing a knockoff World Cup next year for the teams that didn't make the World Cup. Maybe Jamaica can make. That's cruel, Odell. Oh, Congo is not in Afghan? Okay. So they can't go practice because they won't get window just like us. I can do more driving videos. Those videos are relaxing. Okay, DC, thanks. By the way, people, what DC's talking about, I did a video on the Lucid Gravity SUV that I'm thinking about getting. And that was a 30-minute video, a little bit long actually. But my nephew was my photographer, and he was the one who put the video together. So he and I, he has a channel too. He does a lot of those videos. Small channel, he's just growing, but he's helping me. He's teaching me, I should say. Nothing in Mexico is above sea level, Gary Lynch. It's about all of them things above sea level. So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. But no, I'm going to do more. The video is doing fine, actually. I think the video had like 1,500 views. I think, and I have another one on Balance View. So the video is doing well, actually. I'm pleased with that one. And the one I did on the video I did on AI, I think it had like 10,000 views, actually, or more, or 10 or 15,000. The one I did on Balance View, actually. So it's good. Other topics are resonating with people and getting quite a bit of subscription. So, yeah. Yeah, Zebef said he loved the video. See, people, go watch the video, people. See, I have DC said she loved it. Zebef said he loves it. And by the way, Zebef is a member. A lot of you guys are not member yet. I'm selling. You know what? Naveed, New Wave Entertainment. You know what happened? Somebody in my chat asked me if Lucid sponsored my video. No, they didn't sponsor, but they were really, really nice. Actually, it was really good meeting with those guys. We didn't show that part of the video, but the guys who welcome us, they were great to engage with, actually. Buenos noches. Who am I speaking to? Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, who am I speaking to?
Hold on, let me mute this TV.
That's a good thing.
Hey, what, man?
Yeah, who am I speaking to?
I saw it, man. Diego Virgin.
I see.
You know. Yeah?
I saw it. Every time I say Diego Virgin, if you say Salty, I know what Salty is.
I saw it make you do what?
If you say Salty, I say Diego Bedroom, you know what you?
Oh.
Somebody else say Salty.
Oh, but you can say me making know about Maverick.
Probably. You know what? That's probably the case, actually. Remember we were at the park? When was it, in the summer?
Yeah, man, we there at the park, man, and them talk about it, and you ask me, is that, man. I will tell you where to find the show, man.
Yeah. I didn't know about the show. I think I know about him, but I didn't know about the show, actually. Because he used to drop the YouTube videos. I didn't know about him, and yes. But no, you so you're the one who got me in trouble. That was last summer. That wasn't this summer. It was the summer before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think then you introduced me.
Not this summer past, the summer before.
Okay. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah, we're at the park. Yeah.
But a couple of things though.
Yeah.
DR Congo. They're not in they are not in the African Cup of Nations.
Somebody's saying they're not. I didn't know that, actually. Not surprised if they're not, because it's tough to get into that tournament, as you know. So
I'm almost sure I see them gonna play Benin on December 23rd. And I'm in the same group with Congo.
Yeah,
with
but what happens is they may just use their local players, because half their team is outside the country and half is inside the country. So they probably use the ones who are local.
They're in that competition.
Oh, they're in the competition. Okay. I thought it started in January. It started in December? I thought it started January.
No, man, it start December, late December.
Okay.
Because I think them supposed to the players supposed to get released by the 8th or something like that. Because I know Salah was trying to work out something with Egypt where he can go down later or something like that.
Well, you don't need to. Egypt, he's not getting no game for Liverpool nowadays. So enough, just go on.
I want to give him miss so far now. We don't know if him not.
Wait. Oh no, wait without him.
Let's see what happens in the next game. Let's see what happens. But a couple of things though.
Okay.
You see that video you do on the car, right?
Yeah.
Last night, I turned on my TV and I just see it pop up in my feed. But let me tell you something now, by the coincidence now. Saturday, me and my 3 youngest children were in New Jersey
Hey,
on the
people.
Short Hills
Hey, the
Mall,
man
right?
say him 3 youngest children. I know enough about people.
No, a five, but the other 2 grown and adults and stuff. But
Okay.
them other 3, they're 2 college students and 1 little one. So me still have to take care of them.
Okay.
Them 3. Anyway, we were on Short Hills Mall, right?
Yeah.
And I see these cars, and I say, "What are these cars? They're in a showroom."
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would go in another place and I look at the cars. I say, I never hear about them cars there before. But my son is telling me about these cars. I say, yeah. I say, you ever see these cars on the road? I never see these cars before. So we in there looking at the cars and everything. And then the very next, I say, I'm going to start look on the road if I see this. Because I never hear about Lucid before. And then that's a Saturday, you know. And then Sunday I turn on my TV and see you doing the video about it. I was like, what?
Yeah, man. You lose it around for a while now, man. A couple years, few years in a row.
And then today, for the very first time, I saw one on the highway.
Yeah, you won't see a lot of them. But first of all, they're pricey, right? And they're new.
That one that you were showing.
Yeah.
With that same one that you were showing, the same one I went into. I was looking at it, I'm like, God damn, man, what is this?
Nice, don't it? Nice, don't it?
Yeah. But Saturday was the first time. I was just walking in the mall. We were just in the mall and I see it. And that was the first time I had ever heard about this car.
Wow.
And it so happened that's the very next day I come and see you I see your video about the thing.
Ah, okay. Now I've been following them for about a year and a half now. From they were making the car from way back. They by Saudi, so that's why them I burn through cash so much.
Yeah, because I Google it and I see the Saudi, the PIF, what them call it, the PIF.
Yeah, the PIF fund. The fund.
It's some California company, and the PIF have most of the money in it. And then my son was saying, well, the Saudis buying everything in the world. They're taking over everything in the world. That's or you think they get the World Cup?
Yeah, the money talking and money talk.
Yeah, they're serious thing. But I hear you on this football thing now.
Yeah.
What's
your view? What's your view?
All right, I hear you talking about the cleaner and all the things and the article and stuff. First of all, I go look up the article and I see who write the article. You know, it's Walter Boyd brother that write the article.
Somebody in the chat mentioned it. I didn't know that. Somebody mentioned in the chat. All
right, Walter Boyd, older brother, who used to write a lot of articles during the 1998 campaign. Whenever his brother misbehave, him can write up thing and say Renaissance Moise is not God and them things.
So Walter Boy, was I see it then? That's it in his eyes.
Whenever anything go down, him could have used the cleaner. But let me tell you something about media in Jamaica. I used to work at one of them for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
When I got there, because before you start working amongst them people, you'd probably think, oh, me see it in Gleaner, so it so and so and so. You take it as some gospel or so. Or me hear it on the news and stuff. When you get there, you realize, I just regular people, am I right on them things? Just regular folks, just doing our job and everything. And seriously, this about 26 years. This about 96, 97 when I left still. But even during that time, there are a lot of rumors. A lot of them people can be bought, right? Bought sports writers, political writers, entertainment writers. But it's like basically back in them days when them used to have stage show in Jamaica, and then when them used to write articles about the stage show, you could guarantee after every stage show who is the artist or who are the artists that the writer is going to say, I him mash up the show.
Okay. Yeah.
The person who write the article for the review for the stage show, you know which artist them are going to say mash up the show. Even if before the show go on, you know who are going to say mash up the show. Because certain things. So the thing about this whole thing now, I remember a brother named Tony James, he was a past president of the JFF. I don't remember, if you remember one time when he make a statement about the media, football media in Jamaica and Captain Burrell, and him said this media they are either mesmerized or they are compromised. You remember, you didn't know about that statement?
No, I don't know the statement. No, I don't know it.
Oh, he said it publicly on radio or TV or whatever. He said they are either mesmerized or compromised.
Okay.
That statement, you see, I have always believed is true with a heavy dose of the compromise. Right? So what you looking for them to do with all speed and stuff, you will never get that.
But why wouldn't the public push to get that? Right?
The public is not interested in that. The public is more, if you listen to the public is more like some of the media man them, like the talk show man them, the public more look upon them man as them general then and them things then.
Okay.
So them not all them like traditionally like media, them all them man like stars, like small island stars still.
All right.
So where them man tell them. So if you listen all the thing I go with Speed, right? When Speed come over and say I'm gonna be advisor, all of the journalists them say this is a good move and this is the best football brain on the island and anything him can do for help the country qualify for the tournament. So them put a whole positive spin on it, you know, and say this is even when people are lick up on it. And I remember calling one of them program there and said to them, say, I bet you if we fail, this is going to be Speed is going to be married to the success, but divorced from the failure.
Exactly what happened.
You see what happened now? Now that we failed to qualify now. The same people them who did a trumpet and endorse the whole advisor thing because this is the best football brain on the island and him win the Jamaica Premier League and him do this and him do that. The same people now that we feel, they don't say nothing about him and that. No, everything them say is about McLaren. Now them want to tell you, say, the man probably they give advice and the coach will take it. But when the coach was reading his resignation letter, him say he mentioned the fact that him and Speed do a whole bunch of talking, especially in the last few months.
Yeah.
So now them are trying to tell you, say, the same person them did a trumpet say it was very good that he was going to be the advisor because he's the best football brain in Jamaica and all that. Now when it failed, them same man they tell you, say, oh, you know, so the coach will take away my tell him to tell him. So why him put himself in the position there? And then, why him put himself in a position because he was the coach boss, you know. Now him put himself in a position where the coach, him and the coach boss, him go down to the coach, say him going to advise the coach. And then as the coach boss, the same coach now listen to him when he tell him the advice.
Yeah, I think Speed is having his cake and eat it too.
No, the thing is, to me, the man take over the thing.
Yeah, he went in because he didn't trust McLaren, right? That's probably what happened. Remember, he went to Unity Cup, you know. I think after Unity Cup and the fair Gold Cup campaign, he decided he can't trust McLaren. Yeah. So he might go in and oversee it and make sure things are done a certain way. And he must say, him didn't insist, but I think he didn't insist.
But then when the advisor thing come in, the president come out and him give a whole job description of what the advisor was going to do, right?
Yeah.
You remember him come out and say him going to help with tactical preparation and player selection and he was going to do all of them stuff there. Then when the thing failed, Speed goes on the radio and basically denied that he was doing anything like that. And then when the questioner said to him, say, but the president said so and so and so. This is what the president said. Him said, the man can say one thing, but me don't want to really throw nobody under the bus. But it's like him a try to say him not really want to throw the president under the bus. But I never that him a do.
No.
You never want to
throw him on the bus, but he might throw him under the bus.
But listen, but this after the thing feel now when him can come and say, no, I never that me there do, you know. But before he never does say, I know that him a do when the man come out and say that him a go do.
Yeah.
Because at the time them never envisioned that it would fail.
Yes, I would agree with that. They had no perspective that it would fail. None. They were so confident.
It would fail.
They were so confident. I know they were confident because I've engaged with people.
Because I remember calling such man and tell him when he talk about soup. I'm a call him program. I'm a call him program. I'm tell him say Curacao gonna be a dangerous team. You know, them recruiting a lot out of the Dutch league and stuff. I'm all
yeah.
Them little things. So they didn't care. They didn't care. They were just going off the name of the team. So me think that start from the little man them where I watch on TV, go straight up to the top of the federation. Everybody did think say this was so a no-brainer, right? So at that point, me did think say Mr. Speed insert himself at that point because it's gonna go a World Cup and forget some of the players to go to the World Cup. No, it flop out and now they're gonna play the playoffs, right? So there's nothing to lose. Basically, for Mr. Speed.
I said this, and people disagree with me. I said this so too, which is this, for Rudolph. If him qualify, he's a hero, right?
Yes.
If he loses, he must say, I just see him play them. Well, it depends on what players him get. He must say this, which
if
is this.
If he lose, nobody can blame him. Not me nor you are. You can't lose one game and something and anybody blame him.
But not only that, they must play Caledonia. If they win that and play Congo and lose, people say, well, Congo's a better team. Congo's a better team. So there's nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Yes.
No, if you qualify the team in the World Cup, it is your name going to be in the lights when you go to the World Cup and them talk about Jamaica, one of the small teams, and the international journalists know you and them things and put your name in the lights, right? It's not gonna. McLaren is forgotten.
McLaren is forgotten.
Right.
McLaren failed.
So there's everything to gain and nothing to lose.
That's the way I see it too.
Absolutely nothing. So me believe, Mr. Speed, you know him long time too, you know. I know him from the same company I used to work at.
So you were at Gleaner with him at Gleaner because he was there for a long time.
Yes, I always tell the story that when I got fired, he was in the conference room, sitting on the other side of the desk. he was there, along with union reps and stuff. He was one of them representing the management.
He is representing management. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make no mistake about it. He is a brilliant guy. A brilliant guy. So when I say brilliant, I mean in the brain. So I'm basically I think 2 steps ahead at all time. And to me, it seemed like the man them around the JFF just get that over and them just wait upon the spoils.
Yeah.
To me, them just get over and them trying to put this thing that them had some sort of meeting to select the national coach. So I am laughing about this thing. Because I ask some answer. What you think, sir? You think them have some sort of meeting and Speed just recuse himself from
That's what he said he did. That's what he said, right? He said never vote. They never vote because I him never vote pan.
And Speed went outside the door and said everybody inside was to left. Everybody believed that they have vote. So they're saying this man is being appointed. It's just for one. It's just for the 2 games. And I am saying to the bad, this is the next step in the media now. Here what's happening in the media. Because even the man them on the radio, you know, they might push the argument say just for the 2 games, you know. But immediately after them 2 games, they're over. If we win them, listen the switch we are going to happen with them. Same man up on radio. Now them are going to say, him qualify us, so him for carry the World Cup.
Of course.
So this argument that's him appointed for just the 2 games is nonsense.
No, well, local media is saying there should be a local coach. That's why you hear from a lot of local media, right? It's time to have a local coach because we've tried to oversee stuff. They cost a lot of money and we can't afford it. The JFF is also saying they have no money.
You see the article in the Gleaner by the same Adler boy is a stupid article because he's talking about what we do from 2000 and from 1998, and we are used these English players and it has not worked. And because what did happen before 1998? How much time we qualify for the World Cup?
Aye, great point. Great point. And
So
by the way, Haiti make World Cup 74 now. Haiti make World Cup 74.
Yeah.
Right?
Haiti just make a World Cup just now and did not play a game in their country. And the man who coached the team has never set foot in Haiti.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is Haiti make a World Cup 1974. Then I'm make one till no, right? So they had a longer period than us. Yeah.
51 years.
Yeah, longer period than us.
52 years. But listen, what I'm saying is this. The argument that the coach of a local and this and that and that. You see, me personally, I want the day come when the team is just local. With all players just from Jamaica and out of the Premier League, out of the USL. I would love that day just to see the result.
I know, but we're not gonna see the result because they're not good enough. The locally born players are not good enough. They're not good enough. We've seen it. No, but Salty, we have seen it when the local players on the JFL, not the ones who move overseas, play against a local Trinidad team, for example. They played them 4 games in the last 2 years. They won one of those 4 games. They won by a 1-0 lead. I think it was. It's not like they dominated Trinidad.
Last year, February, I went to the stadium in Red Bull Stadium to watch Jamaica. It was a local team.
Yes, Guatemala. Guatemala. Yes. I went to the game too. Yeah.
I take my little son. It was February now. The heights are cold. I take my little son, small son. He was 10 at the time. I put on long john, sweat bottom, hoodie, jacket, everything. Hat on him, gloves on him finger, and go sit down in that stadium. It was, and they were terrible boss. It was all local players. I remember them had Topi and King. And they had a little.
They had Ramara Williams up front. Yeah. Phillips played too.
Terrible. It was Miller. But I want them to have a team like that. The thing for me is, I think Jamaicans and a lot of like these media people and things, them have an overinflated view of our ability as football people, as football players. They have an overinflated view and think we are this good, like we have these good players because them tell all these stories about all these people from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
When them really was playing against each other in local leagues. Them really was just playing against each other in local leagues. And a lot of them get star, what you call it? They start calling them stars, but they really were stars amongst each other.
Yeah, local stars. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you do a deep dive into results of Jamaican teams during that 70s, 80s and stuff with some games them used to play, they weren't good enough.
But it's funny. You remember, I think 88 or something around time, them play US out in Colorado or something and get 6-0.
All right, let me tell you that story then. It was 87 or 87. They were playing for the 1990 World Cup. I will play the US in the National Stadium, and the US at the time had one professional player named Ricky Davis, and they had a bunch of college students and semi-pro players, and them come to the National Stadium. I remember Jamaica had like Alton Noah Sterling.
Yeah.
Who else? I was in the stadium at the day. I would draw the game 1-1. And them guys, they take way up at St. Louis, Missouri, and drop a 5-pound weight. At the time, the United States was college students and semi-pro, And we are so it's when them talk about it now.
Salty. I know it's about that game. We look so, it's going to sound bad, like malnourished compared to them. We look frail. We never look big and strong. I remember that game, it was shown on TV, because I watched that game.
But even now, you can look at the players and local players. If you watch a JPL and stuff, is when the players them go away.
Yeah.
Overseas, you can see them bodies start look different and stuff. But when them in a yard, them not really do no whole heap of them work.
Well, between nutrition and the work, the physical,
Yeah. So the idea that the coach have to be local and this and that and that, to me, them thing they are just some xenophobic fools that chat them thing there. Because when you watch the football worldwide and you see the trend of all the thing and go, everybody will look all over the world to scrape up players to make them country better, to make them national team better.
Well, if you look at the 6 teams now, Bolivia, the only country where have them local coach, all the other coaches like the New Caledonia coach or Congo coach,
no, but
Iraq coach come from Australia.
But through the entire South America, if you look at South America, Brazil have an Italian, Argentina have an Argentinian. But if you look at Chile and Paraguay and the whole of them country, Uruguay have the brother
Bielsa.
He's an Argentinian that again.
Yeah.
So when you look on the whole thing, I think only 1 or 2 countries in the entire South America have a coach from them country.
Even England have a foreign coach.
All right. Then you have Morocco now, who went to the World Cup semi-final last World Cup. The man them go to the World Cup and bring a 26-man squad with mostly 15 of the players come from overseas. But when them play the World Cup and them beat the big teams now and them show the picture of them in the country and the crowds on the street, them people don't care that the man them not come from there.
Nope.
When the hundreds of thousands of people are turn out in the streets in Morocco, I feel them team, right? So we have this set of people now. I talk about, the man them not committed. The man them use them radio program and say them can go to stadium and look on the watch program and watch game and know who are local and who are foreigner because them can see who committed and who not committed. Yet we have stories of English baller where take them own money and buy ticket go to Jamaica go play a game. And not get back their money on them. So
but Salty, let me just say something, Salty. You know that concept of committed. I was telling somebody that day that if you pick a player who's committed, I can pick one who plays the same way, who's committed, who's from outside Jamaica. But also, the kids who are from outside Jamaica, they are trained to play differently, They're not trained to just run band on like a mad people,
All right. So what I'm telling you now, because I had this discussion in a WhatsApp group with a guy, and he was telling me about heart. And I said, who on the Jamaica team play with that? And him name 3 players.
Probably name Dixon as one of them.
The first one.
Yeah, as usual.
And I said to him, your concept, first of all, every individual on the field different. Them race different, them come from different players. So a man might express himself in a different way from a next man. So who the concept of a player having art is some guy out there run around like madons and I throw up him under the air and want to fight people and I run up in people's face and I run some wild tackle and I take 2 yellow cards and I get run off and them things. I want to say, oh, him have art.
Yeah.
But this art thing is an individual thing where you really have to talk to the person and get a feel of the person and them things. Because a man might out there being quiet and stuff. Come here, tell the guy, say, say you have some man on the field where probably I run up and down and I go out and want to fight everybody. I want to say, oh, yeah, man, the man they have art, but you have a next man who never do that. But when the player them come off of the field and go up in a tunnel, him step to a man to him face and ready for him right there. But you not gonna see that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see that. So you just think the man who are running around on the field have art. So I am saying to this guy, if you are watching football and I ask you about a player, and the only thing you can tell me is that the player have art, that player not good. Because if he good, you'd have tell me something else apart from the fact say him have art. So him said to me, say, all right, look at Allen Iverson. Don't him say Allen Iverson have a heart? I say, yes. But Allen Iverson is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Top 75 player in our history. MVP, lead scoring. Allen Iverson is a top basketball player. So you can't just say him have a heart. You have to tell me something else where the man out there on the field I do. Him pass good, him shoot good, him press good, him come back, come defend. What else him do apart from heart? So, but the heart thing now is something that seems
your boy spreading the heart narrative. Say your boy spreading the heart narrative.
You see the heart thing?
Yeah.
The heart thing, it is always assigned to It's never assigned to foreign player.
No, never. It's a differentiator.
Yeah.
Because it
It's
shows
something them
commitment
use.
and it shows that you wear the country in your sleeve and you're a nationalist and they're not. And it
Right.
resonates well with local people.
And them trying to push this narrative, say the man them not just a player. Man, them real spend for them one money buy ticket for come a yard when them go to airport and no ticket not there for them. Oh, them not committed.
Or I fly 9 hours out here all the time. You're tired, you don't play the game and you have to fly 9 hours next
And
day,
man,
so
them not
weekend.
coming up.
Yeah.
Someone, oh, that makes sense. Like, oh, yeah, do it for 2, 3, 4 years, like all Bobby Reed and them are agree and them thing that them are and you not committed.
I think you're the person on something there. I him promote that all the time. Him say it all the time, but him video them, him say it on him channel, him say 24/7 about commitment and balance.
And then yeah, because of the narrative that me and him have them conversation privately. I mean, I show him say, yeah, push some little divisive narrative because you're there on the TV, you're there on the radio. You have people out there who know are stars. Them soon upon TV.
Yeah.
And for the word of God to them, you know. So when they get to say these things and somebody come and follow.
Yeah, but it sells, you know. It sells, you know. So if it sells, no matter what, how divisive it is, can say me divisive, you know, come and say Cephas was not automatic starter, which is my opinion, right? I said if everybody available, if Bailey available, if Greenwood come, him lose his mind and say me being divisive.
Oh, me say that too.
Yeah, but him say me divisive, but how that divisive versus you were saying the man on the heart.
That you being divisive, that small too when him say me bad mind him. I mean ask him bad mind him too. so that's at least still. Being divisive at least still.
Yeah.
I try to show them say. I try to show them. See that at least still. Enough play I mean like enough when I want to say you bad mind because you say that at least but everybody have them opinion on ball. I'm watch all of the game there. I'm tell them say, you see, if anytime we play in a team when I give no space running behind.
Yeah.
Use.
Yeah.
I used to a team.
Yeah, or somebody usher you put it to the touchline and you can't get no room for maneuver.
All right.
And you go one direction.
When you watch a Curacao game in a stadium now, Curacao keep a low defense. No space behind them for run. So then the man can't get no chance. Cephas can't get no chance to run past somebody. Bermuda is basically trash team still.
Yeah.
One of the goal what we score, the Bermuda right back was so stupid. He makes Cephas run on him inside.
I call that out. I call that out when I watch a lot. The man make him go inside.
Yeah, so that them really a trash team still. But if a team play a low block, them man and
But Sauti, if a player in your team, Sauti, play 160 minutes and make a total of 8 passes in 2 games, 5 completed, isn't that a problem? Or if you make 8 passes in 2 games, you play ball, Sauti, or you play 8 passes now 160 minutes of football. Or if you make 5 completed passes, that means that you're not playing football.
When you listen to the thing, when you listen to the programs, what you get is them thing they now discuss because the man them divide the thing in such a way. Listen to all of the program them when you hear them talk about the ball of them in a derogatory way. It's going to be Bobby Reed and Demari Gray, something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be them people. It's never the people in my yard. Now me have this view say the man not say nothing about the ball of them in my yard because them have to buck them up in a party and buck them up in a dance and the man might step to them and them things there. So them don't really want to say nothing. So them say things about the other man them because them now got to see them man there. Them now got to see them man there, so it's cool to talk to them man. But the thing is with the football, it not change, Bridget.
Yeah.
Because as the man said, them either mesmerize or compromise, and for me, it's a heavy dose of compromise.
Yeah, that's
and people have, and if you understand the media in Jamaica and thing, it's not a very well paid job. Yeah, so people have
I figured that's something. I mean, a man said I work about 4 jobs. I said, why the first one? Must it not pay you if you work 4 jobs?
Yeah, it's not a very well paid job. So when the man them can get a thing and thing, them will do what them need to do. And it's not just in our sports, in our politics and stuff.
Okay.
Everything. So it's just you have to know your consume. And you can it's easy for see. It's easy for recognize who and say, especially when you listen to talk show. Because certain opinion can't get to come out. It got to end up. That's why I'm kind of cool off of calling and thing. Because when you talk certain way, you end up in a shouting match because you can't get to finish your sentence and push out your
you know what's interesting, so because you called today, I called into KLAS, right? And I call them out.
Yeah.
And I was trying to preface my question because I want to make sure when I preface the question, when I ask the question, the audience will totally get it. The man say, me have 5 minutes, me have 5 minutes, me have 5. And so me have 2 questions. I say, I remember preface my question, then me just take one. You know why me do that? So me I say,
So
protect the man.
after a while, me just say, yo, now call about them show the car. Once you can't even get to finish your sentence and they end up in some little shouting match like you're an idiot.
Yeah,
and then me
yeah,
have my
yeah.
youth, me have all my daughter listen and I tell me say, stop calling the guy, man. Stop calling that guy. So, why you being see? Because you end up a shout. You can't express yourself, you can't like you ask for the same thing like when the boy named Pelper, as you call him, Carl. them guys that can call and chat for free. Let them just call, them not get interrupted, nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And them just talk. You spend your money the same money, you call, you end up in a shouting match, like you're a fool. And
Well, you spend more money because at least the Jamaican can't use minutes. Yeah, you have to spend money to make the call. Kind of WhatsApp call, yeah, make the regular call. Yeah, buy car or something like that. Yeah.
And then because of that now, you know, say, yo, I waste my money, call them guys. First of all, I don't make nobody style me still. I don't depend that with them. Because I don't view nobody as no star and everything. So, but what I say, you know, I get no change out of the media. To me, the football thing, there's nothing anybody can do about what is going on. Basically, we can just talk and make noise and everything, but the thing has been co-opted by a certain group of people, and you know, come out of them and again. It's like a mafia family.
But here's my view on that. Actually, I agree and disagree. Meaning this, and it's been said in the public domain, which is it's an elected office to be part of the JFF and their board and all that, and therefore the public and it's a FIFA-run organization, so the government can't do anything, the public can't do anything. But I've always believed that public pressure can create.
No, the public can do something.
Yeah.
If the public can do something and force our people in a different society.
Right.
But our society have never been that way.
Okay.
We have let's say the government do something right now, and them people decide them are gonna protest. And this go for any government. So nobody come brand nothing. No listen to the conversation. No, come brand nothing. But the JLP in power now. Let's say them do something and people decide them are have a protest. A few people from over the PNP side are going to go at the protest and the rest of people are not going to wait.
No. Well, we had that in Jamaica. I mean, when they did government triple them wages, few people go to Hero Circle protest for a couple of days and then say, you know what, the sun hot, man, go home.
Only a few people. So we have never been that kind of society where the society mobilize and you're looking at the street, you see thousands and people are boycott stadium and not gonna give them and say, oh, the JFF you have to go him and we're not gonna give them and sponsors are withdraw and all them things. No, that's not that. Because I know our style. No, that's not that. So the man them can just tell you one thing. And then there's no questions by anybody. You know, when you have a coup in our country, right? Like say you have a coup, somebody overthrow the government. When them overthrow the government, what is the first thing they try to do?
When they overthrow the government?
Yeah, if you have a coup, when they overthrow a government, what is the first thing you try to do?
Well, no, you have to win the people empire inside. They have to lock down things.
All right, so how you get the people empire inside?
Well, you have to show all the other government was terrible.
The first thing try to do is control a media outlet.
Well, that's true too. A TV, well, they have to show the people and buy. So, yeah. You're right with that.
Because they have to push out certain news to the people.
Yeah.
So once you cannot get the media upon your side for do nothing, like even them football we are talking about, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change.
Well, here's the question on Soti, because when we say the media is now multifaceted, right? It's no longer just the traditional media, even though they are still influential.
No, like YouTube guys, man. They're not care nothing more. Let me tell you something what them do with YouTube guys. First of all, them co-op some of them on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Them just reach out to who them see attack and bring them in. Even callers who call radio station get link from them. Oh, them want to talk to you. Them do that to me, you know.
So they want to talk to you?
Such and such want my number for talk to me. I mean, I say talk to me for. Me no want to talk to him. I am just a caller. I'm not important. I just call and say something. Why I'm not important? What you want to talk to me for? No, I don't want to talk to him. Them kind of weird. I'm just giving an opinion. I am not that important. So why you want to talk to me? So them do that. Them all co-op the man them and them do that with some of the YouTube man and them get to them and bring them in and man cool off from talk about them certain way and certain thing. So that's how the thing works.
Yeah, because I noticed that it's mainly the YouTubers who are outside Jamaica who are raising a lot of the issues and challenges and right? The ones who are in Jamaica, they're much more managed actually in terms of how they operate.
Because you got expect a man to talk against him when they see a man want to go to a press conference. When they see a man want to go in a stadium with credentials and them things.
Yeah.
And them ways there. So then him go reach out to them and talk to them and give him a credential. Him can go to stadium free. Him can go on press conference. If USA come play, him can sit down in a press conference and say, "Oh, me see Christian Pulisic talk on the microphone and stuff." I could have touched him. Me less so near to him. So a man now go. Man want them things there. So they easy for quite man them way there. And the man them have it down to a science.
Yeah.
The man them have it down to a science. So once you can't get the media to lead something, nothing not change, but. And the man them can just go in on the media. When the man them go and do them interview, there's no real pushback to anything them say.
Which is, I would think that in extreme circumstances, you may have extreme measures taken. What I mean by that, when you've been knocked out of a World Cup qualifier, automatically.
Who is this guy, Reggae Boys? Who is this person?
Don't respond to him. He's an idiot. Don't respond to him.
Me see my right.
Yeah. He trolls me all the time. He's a troller. He's a person.
One of them goofy. They will come on YouTube just to be a hit, just to be a goof.
Yeah. That's who he is. Don't worry about it. That's why I don't put up his comments anymore because he just come here to troll. So if he wants to come here and troll, he's part of JFF.
So come on your program for monitor and be a ass wipe for the JFF.
In fact, at one point 2 days ago, they had like 3 or 4 of them on the channel. All different names.
Go 3 comments and mention.
That's how he is. That's how he is. Don't worry about it. No, he's not important.
Anyway, nothing will change up. Nothing will change about them things there because the man have the thing down to our science, you know.
It appears that way.
Remember, I was at the Argentina versus Jamaica game, you know.
Okay, the one in the Meadowlands? Was it Meadowlands?
Yeah, a Red Bull Stadium, man.
Yeah, okay.
Not only was I at the game, I was at the hotel where the team was staying and the delegation.
Okay.
And I saw all of them coming downstairs. And I saw all the media people coming downstairs. And everybody was gathered there. And everybody was together. And everybody was sitting there waiting on the bus and drinking and come down. And the team and everybody and everybody. And then so you can't expect these guys to then say something about them on it.
Well, I mean, they can because I'm gonna tell you this, people. So I've said it before, and people say, "Well, I'm an insider." I have conversation with Rudolph once in a while, even though you may hear me call him out in public domain, and he doesn't come. So when I talk to him, sometimes it's a difficult conversation, but it's not like he's saying, Kranky, you're totally unfair and you're horrible. He may say, me I pick on him. May I tell you the truth? In fear, what he must say, me I write article, read the article and say, on my website, him say, yeah, the article was balanced. Even though me I criticize him, I mean, I give him credit when credit due. So I don't think.
And there's also another thing too. When a man, let me tell you, so as from my experience, the people are right and stuff are just regular people, Reg. Are just regular people. Some of them all take bus go home in my time when them are after they write. Some people will either say I write now paper and empty.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, when the man them say something or write something, boss, the man them still have to go out in the streets,
That's true.
And people step to them, And somebody see a man them where them are writing about step to them,
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And then now step to them like when them come on the news or when them sit down on a YouTube channel. Them step to them with badness too and them things there.
Yeah.
So enough man a man have to know them things there and them things there. So really.
Well, you know what? Right on the editorial page, then you don't have to write your name. You don't have to put your name to the article. You can do it as an editorial.
Oh, that will happen to and stuff.
So I say, because you step to know. You can't step to nobody.
Editor don't really. I remember I remember them would have one sports editorial every week, like on a Saturday and stuff. But normally them editorial not really focus on them things.
Okay.
Editorial not really focus
No,
on
look,
that
if
part.
people have concerns about their safety, that's a legitimate concern. So my question is, if you're a YouTuber, it's a different story. But if you are the newspaper, there has to be a way to publish the article without assigning a person's name to it to get information to the public, if that's what you want to do.
I see somebody just make a comment. Him name Marcus Messiah Garvey. Him said these same people write about dudes and dog park. These people, when they're writing about dog park, them don't give no opinion about dog park. Them just write police reports. And when police tell them, say the man wanted or they write some story what police tell them. But them not give no opinion or pressure of dog park and say nothing bad about dog park for them own self. They're not doing that. Them just write a story and tell us the man wanted and him do this, him do that, him do this, him do. All these are just police reports, them are repeat, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
you're right about that. It's not opinion.
Some of these people that comment on these things, sometimes read the comment, they are so slow. You have to wonder, why them even type? So slow. Yeah, they have no sense and critical thinking skills and stuff. They write about dog power. What they say about dog power? Dog power for that? Not right, nothing like that. Not right, nothing like that. They just tell you some things where them say happen. What them tell you what the police tell them.
Yeah.
The police report them all right. People sick, man. Well, sorry, God, you know how change be.
I appreciate the call, sir. I appreciate the call, man.
I go and watch the bar still. To me, it's neither here nor there if them qualify. So I won't be crying if they don't.
No, what do you think is the probability of them qualifying?
I don't know nothing more the first team. I notice nobody's talking about that. It's like
they don't exist. They don't exist, right?
About this Congo. So, but you know, say you have to win the first one, forget to the second one. I don't know nothing about that team. I never even know so there was such a country. Maybe I don't remember. But so I don't know nothing about them. No, the other team, I see them play. I was watching parts of them game against Nigeria. And it was more of them play like a defensive game, but maybe it is because of Nigeria why them play that kind of game, you know?
Because Nigeria have good players, you know? A lot of good players.
Right.
Yeah.
So them play a kind of defensive game and in the end them end up winning from penalty. I don't know. Oh, them are going to play Jamaica. I just know so them have a couple players who I know about. Apart from one Bissaka, them have I think they have two midfielders from Sunderland.
Yeah, what's his name play for them now? Johan Wissa play for them now? Yeah,
Wissa.
But him injured now, but he play for them, yeah.
And there's some other person we know too. But I don't know, man. We see how it go, man. We can't make no forecast panic because I don't really know the team them like that. Okay. But it always have a laugh because everybody seems to be talking about the next game. And that is what happened to them. That is why we feel for qualify when we do that Trinidad game they were there and it was more about the next game after the next game. I don't know you're
right. Well, I think because if we beat Curacao, we got to the Trinidad game, you'd qualify, right? And it worked out to be that same way, actually. Yeah.
Right. But there was also the fact that it is if we had got them thing that the coach when rest people because them never yellow card. But to me, the coach do it or maybe my advisor tell him to do it. Me don't know. But there is a big difference between Curacao coming to Jamaica needing only a draw and Curacao coming to Jamaica must win.
That is true, but even so, here's my view on that, Salty, because I didn't have a problem with the decision. There are two things about that. One is the players who played, like the Holgates and the Burrell, to me weren't worse than the ones who we decided not to play because of the yellow cards. That's one. Secondly, we were leading in the 84th minute, and we gave up a goal. We made some poor substitutions, and we gave up a goal where the man with the ball who made that pass to Levi Garcia didn't have any pressure for about 15, 20 yards coming up the field.
Because we drop off.
Exactly, because we don't put no pressure on the ball. And in football, if you put pressure on the ball, then man have a chance to make decisions that they wouldn't be able to make if you had pressure on the ball. So I think it was coach's decision Not necessarily that yellow card situation, which materialized in us drawing that game to me. We put on two.
Yeah.
We were left back. We put on two left back on the field. Why?
Yeah, so we drop off.
Yeah.
And because we drop off, we give them the ball late in the game.
Yep.
And once you do them things there, it always possible. It's always possible that them things that can happen. We see something similar with Liverpool yesterday, but them end up score a late goal. But in the last 15 minutes of the game, them they drop off too. That's even when West Ham go down to 10 man, West Ham that dominate them. So once you do them things there,
set yourself up. Anything can happen. Yes.
So should I go out there, try to win the game by all means necessary, and then force Curacao to come to Jamaica where they must win. If we could have win it, but at least try to win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I say it goes still.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
Here it go. That's the water and the breathing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, Salty. Thanks for the call, sir. Appreciate it. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Bless up. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Watch it all the while, man. I just keep back and watch it, you know?
All right, cool. Thanks.
What's up? All right.
That was Salty, people. First of all, a couple of things, which is, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channels, I say, not channel, Balanced Views and Kranky Live, please do so. If you haven't gone to the website, ssnnlive.com, please do so. And if you haven't become a member yet, I don't know if I want to know, I not even want to give out like much as become member, because member means you have to spend about $3. If you haven't become a member, join the Kranky program if you like it. If you don't like it, me understand. If you like it, then do so. I'll say a couple of things, which is one, by the way, Salty, good call. Thanks for the call. And also the gentleman who called before, I can't remember his name. So we have some good calls tonight. Doesn't mean we don't have good calls regularly, but we have good calls. If you have any like button, people, please hit the like button. But a couple of things. I know that I see Ball Prees in the chat, and he was saying something about the environment they operate in. I'm going to put my words on it. And therefore, one has to manage what one communicate and what one say in that environment, because it could be viewed as negative and it may have implications to it. I understand all of that, you know. But I would say this. If the team didn't qualify for the World Cup, and you talk about the JFF and what they do, you're not talking about individuals, and probably say the organization in general has to do better and fail the country, which is what transpired. It can't just be about the overseas-based players, because that's all we are hearing, because it's easy. It's the overseas-based players didn't do this. It's Bobby Reed who missed the goal. It's this person didn't do this. Like Nicholson never missed goal. Other people never missed goal, right? It can't be one-dimensional. Secondly, it can't also be where an organization which is responsible for football in general hasn't done the job appropriately or sufficiently, and we don't call them out. Now, there are some people in the chat, and we know who they are. We're going to come here to troll and say what they say 24/7, have the same narrative. We're done with them people. We're not. Them can't come on watching them, but we're not dealing with them no more. We're not put up them comment. If I put up a comment, it's by mistake. We're not dealing with them no more. What we want is balanced perspective. As Ball Pre said, everybody don't have the same view about things. Everybody operate differently, and that's a fair thing to be. We're not programmed, right? We're not programmed to operate the same way. You and I could have different views. Here, as Soti talked about, some people believe that having the players who had yellow cards not play was a wrong decision by the coaching administration in the game against Trinidad. I view it differently. I didn't see a big difference between the quality of the players who played and those who didn't play. And we were leading in the 85th minute. Therefore, we should have held on to that lead, and we made some bad coaching decision. I don't think that we lost or drew. We didn't lose, but it's like a loss because of the yellow card situation and players being withheld. I think we lost because we made poor in-game management, which a lot of coaches struggle with, right? Because I actually think some of the players who played versus the ones who didn't play are better and should be on the field. I don't think Nicholson is better than Burrell. I just don't. And Trinidad probably would have played the same way no matter who's on the field, because Trinidad have a decent team, even though they played poorly, and it materialized in them not even getting to the final game to make the World Cup. But to me, they were the best team. And I spoke to somebody from the JFF, and they said to me also, Trinidad was the best team in the four teams. In their view, Trinidad was the best team. Some people will lose their mind and say, I don't know what I'm talking about because they finished third. I'm like, go watch the games. And we could also say that about Jamaica, which is Jamaica missed a lot of goals against Curacao, and Curacao went to the World Cup. But frankly, Jamaica missed about 9 or 8 chances against Curacao. And some of these were not more difficult chances. So the best team doesn't always win. At least the team that, not the best team, better team, the team that plays better doesn't always win. Some people have a contrary view to that. That's their prerogative. I would say this, though, that I don't think it's okay for the division to be created between locally born players, overseas born players, diaspora, and locals. I just don't think it's productive. I don't think it had any value. The diaspora, I must say this again, and I'm dead serious. You may like it. Jamaica locally need the diaspora, and the diaspora need Jamaica. And yet, it's reversed in terms of the engagement. Jamaica locally needs the diaspora, not because of Melissa. In general, need the diaspora, then the diaspora need Jamaica. That's a fact. That's a fact. And yet, the pushback and the vitriol to me comes more from local than from the diaspora. Now, the diaspora personnel who may be difficult to deal with and may have a certain view, we have it on both sides. But I think, to me, it mostly comes from that direction versus the other way around. That's my view. Some people disagree with that. It's my view. It's my view. And the whole thing about diaspora local, to me, is very, very sad. In football, in general, but in football, because if one wants to think about it, a lot of countries, and we have pointed them out numerous times, are leveraging diaspora talent to advance their football program. But what they have also done really well is try to advance their local program. Morocco is the best example. Getting to the World Cup semifinal, people, is a huge feat for a country the size of Morocco and its footballing history, where most of their players was from the diaspora. And even the more youth competition they won the other day is a combination of players that make it. And their football program is improving locally based on the resources they generate from the World Cup and other tournaments. And that's because of the sweat and blood of a lot of their diaspora players that then allow them to get those resources, the money, frankly, that they use to invest in their football program. So how we could knock out against that is beyond me. Diaspora players don't come on beg Jamaica to play. The players are picked based on their ability, based on what the coach is seeing them. When John Wall was here for the under-20 and the junior team, the JFF fired him because he wanted to bring in diaspora players. And then they embarrassed themselves, and instead of being accountable for embarrassing themselves, they come up with some cockamamie scheme to not have the scrutiny placed on them. And then John Wall went to FIFA against them and won. So they had to pay John Wall monies, even though you hear somebody in the chat, the moron in the chat, who always running his mouth, who say, I'll come here and I'm spreading rumors. Rudolph Speed said that the other day. And this moron person in the chat, you know who he is? Call him name reggae something. He comes here saying, I am not telling the truth about John Wall's situation. And Speed came on and said, we had to pay John Wall. Because I knew about this, because I had a phone call with people. I had a conference call with people talking about these situations. And then this man going to come here and run, because I couldn't talk about it in general, because they said it was a confidential in terms of what was discussed. But Rudolph Speed come and talk about it, so I can mention it. So when these people come here and talk about these things, people, they lack credibility. That's why I ignore them from now on, because they add no value. They're a waste. They're what you call waste man of Jamaica. Waste. Don't want to engage with them. Don't want to be around them. Don't want them to be in my vicinity. You don't have to be here. Unsubscribe and go about your business. Nobody wants to see you. Go away. I say Jamaica, as the liquor shop man say, go away. When I want you, go away. When you need a subscription, take off your name, unsubscribe, and go troll somebody else. Don't come troll we. We're trying to do something positive here. We try to do things positive. We're going to call out things when we see it, and we're going to laud things that we see. We're going to give people their flowers when they deserve it. We're going to call out certain things. But don't come here with your negativity in terms of trying to deny certain things which are occurring. And I don't think it's okay. I'm not block him. I'm not block him. If he want to come here and embarrass himself, he can't come and embarrass himself. You waste him and come on yourself. Well, Speed on my problem, me talking. Look, first of all, people, I've said this before, and Rudolph know this, that yes, I criticize Rudolph. As Soty say, Rudolph is a very smart man. Some people say, well, you know no sense, you know no sense. Lie out there. Rudolph's smart man. I give him his credit, but I'm gonna call him out when he does things like when he's conflicted. I'm gonna call him out because unlike some people, I don't. It's not like I'm a Puritan or something, but I believe that we have to have integrity in the process, and that's not challenge. That's not talking about corruption. Integrity meaning we have to be honest about what we talk about. We have to be honest about what we see. We have to be honest about how we communicate and what we're talking about, and we also have to be fair. We can't call out somebody and don't call out somebody else. All Rudolph has said to me is this: a couple of things. One is I'm not fair to him because he's not the only one conflicted. He said that. This is not hiding it. I've said this before. And he also said sometimes I'm not balanced when I talk about him. That's it. He don't come to me and cuss and carry on. He did it one time on a program. He got really mad, but he tried to be professional most times. And a lot of times we agree to disagree. Period. We agree to disagree. I don't talk to Rudolph a lot, by the way. Somebody don't act like we talk a lot, but we've talked once in a while. We agree to disagree. I respect him as a person, but I also think he should not get the role as a coach. And I've said that numerous times. I also think he's part of the challenge with the JFF because if our organization is failing, I can't reward failure. I don't see how we reward failure when they're failing. It makes no sense to me. And he was technical advisor. He was head of the technical committee. He hired the coach. I know he's going to say recommend. He hired the coach. I can't reward your failure with failure. I can't reward you with. I can't give you a promotion for failing. What world are we living in? Crazy. Kranky, what's your view on DEI? I believe DEI has its place in society. DEI is not about hiring people who are not qualified. DEI is recognizing that when you operate in a diverse society, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion to me is paramount because you can't exclude certain people. So when I was in the workplace, we had DEI programs. And now this person who's now president of the United States has come in and do what he does. But the program basically was about when you're hiring people, make sure you have a diverse slate of people. It didn't say hire the person because they're Caucasian or hire because they're Black or hire because they're Asian. What it basically said is when you're hiring people and you're going to select people, resumes, don't just select the people whose resumes look like yours or they look like you and the names sound like yours. Make sure you have a diverse panel of interviewers and a diverse slate of interviewees. That's what you should do. And what happens is, if you've worked in corporate, sometimes that doesn't happen. People hire people who went to the school that they went to or the same school. If they go to Ivy League school, they hire people from Ivy League school because they believe they're only smart people in the world. Or they hire people of a certain name. Or when they pick up resumes, they can see your face, but if it says John Brown, they figure John Brown is somebody like them, so they pick their resume. And I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen. I've picked up names. I remember, I'll give you a perfect example. I've said this before. We're going to interview interns for a position, and we're working for a large organization. And the people who pick the resumes, I say, you know what? They pick like 15 resume, and they push out like 150 resume. And I say, let me go reach through the 150 resume. And I saw a resume which had a name. It was an African name. And I said, well, why didn't you pick this resume? Person has like a 3.7 GPA. Why wouldn't you pick this? And they said, well, they didn't intern. No, we were hiring for a junior position. They didn't intern like in financial services. I'm like, well, not everybody have a chance to intern in financial services. What are you talking about? Not everybody can intern with a Morgan Stanley or a Goldman Sachs or a BlackRock or a Blackstone. Everybody can interview with it because it's some of those places are nepotism get internship. And it's like, let me see. Okay, bring him in. Add him to the list of people resume. I don't want to call out his name, but his first name was Obi, right? We brought him in. We go over his campus. We interview him. Kid was brilliant. Father was an ambassador. He was Nigerian, brilliant. We brought him to the company. Kid has done phenomenally well. Short story said the kid is now a managing director for a major investment firm doing phenomenally well. I haven't even spoken to him in years, right? And I smiled. And I felt good. You know why I felt good? Because he wouldn't have had a chance. He probably said he would have done well because he's a brilliant kid to come to the company that I worked at. Because his name and not only his name, his resume didn't fit the standard resume, which is you had internship at these companies, which to me was ludicrous. Because a lot of Black kids won't get that chance to work in those companies. They don't even know about those companies in the first place. Let's go work at them, even though they're brilliant. Right? Even though they're brilliant. And the point I'm trying to make is this. The whole DEI concept. No, think about the current administration. What's more DEI on that? We have a lawyer who's supposed to bring case in Virginia against Letitia James and Comer, and the lawyer doesn't qualify. How dumb can you be that those basic fundamentals are not being adhered to in that environment? These are all DEIers in the sense where DEI is deemed to be a bad thing. They're not DEIers, but it's a DEI concept, which is what they're trying to promote and what they're trying to espouse, which is you hire people who are not qualified, right? Well, what do you think that whole administration is made up of? None of those people are qualified for no role, and some of the highest roles in the land. So DEI to me, in its purest form, is a good thing. But the way it's being talked about, the way it's being communicated, the way it's being viewed is very negative because it's saying you're hiring a lot of unqualified people. And what's happening now in government, frankly, to be honest, is the reason why the federal government is being reduced in the US is because a lot of African Americans, I'm not using the term black, are in those roles. So the Caucasians have now collateral damage because they want to get rid of the blacks, so they reduce the government. That's a fact. And people who can't see that are blind as a bat. But anyway, I go more than I probably should on the whole concept of DEI. And what the question was, but DEI is not, anybody said DEI is bad, you don't have no sense. You don't know what you're talking about. You live in a purist world, and that's nonsense. You live in a purist world. Purist world you're living in. The purest world you're living in is clouded because you believe the world is fair, and the world is not fair. The world is not fair. Ain't nothing wrong with DEI. All DEI is diversity, equity, inclusion. How you execute it may be a problem, but there's nothing wrong with it. Lived it, breathe it, know it. I see people who have majority who are high or were not qualified. More than once. Ain't nobody calling them DEI. Ain't nobody calling them DEI. It's only when minorities get hired as DEI. It doesn't happen when majority get hired. It's amazing how that works. Jack Jones said, Kranky, I agree that speed was conflict and we have to call it out. Now he's appointed in the coach. Will you support the coaching staff moving forward, including speed? Well, I'll make the decision of December 15th when it's all finalized. But no, I mean, look. As I said before, I don't have a problem with Rudolph Speed, period. I may have a problem with what transpired with national team. I don't have a problem with speed. I don't. But I'm going to call out something when I see it wrong, I'm going to call it out. That's how I am as a person. As I said before, and I've said this already, the people who are in corporate who see me here, they call me up and say, yep, that's you. I used to get myself in trouble in corporate sometimes. They say, that's you. All these people say DEI is bad. You guys, I don't know what world you live in. DEI is not bad. You're thinking about DEI. If DEI is being executed incorrectly, which is you're hiring unqualified people, and I've seen that, by the way. I've seen people try to satisfy DEI supposed requirements by not hiring the best candidates for the job so they can say, I told you so, which is not good. It's not good. Oh, why put up this moron thing? First of all, affirmative action was meant, people, to correct a wrong. Ain't nobody give no reparation to no blacks. The Jews got reparation from what happened in World War II. Blacks didn't get no reparation, and they build the damn country. Free labor for hundreds of years. And stop the nonsense, people. Stop the nonsense. People might come up with the channel before me get upset tonight. May I say good night, because people are upset me. I can't take the nonsense, people. Like, people are not as informed as they should be. Are they using their own personal experience to determine conceptually how a program should operate? I have nothing wrong with DEI. So DEI is gone now. Not happy? DEI should only work for one group of people who have been doing DEI forever and are doing DEI blatant, and the press is not calling it DEI blatant in the bad sense. So the whole DEI you guys are talking about, that reverse DEI, the way you're putting it, is happening now. Why not call it out? The other people that want to run in the U.S. cabinet for the dictator, they're all DEI hires. So long as them blonde and look decent, they get job. Why not call that out? We not call that out. Because no one can pick on one people. We only want to pick on one people. That's what I'm doing now. Is that reverse thing. No one pick on one people. Only want to pick on one people. The DEI you guys are talking about is not the DEI I'm familiar with, or the DEI I was a part of. You guys started talking about hiring inferior quality to do the job. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about having an environment where diverse mindset, diverse workers are in an environment where we all don't think the same way. We all don't operate the same way. What Bob is saying? I think you missed the reason why I asked the question. I don't know why you asked it. Why did you ask the question, Barbary? Uncomfortable conversation. Well, no. The DEI in a bad sense, maybe why. No, the DEI in the terrible sense that you guys are talking about is what's called balanced in Jamaica. It's called balanced in Jamaica. Now, I think we have the DEI confused that we're thinking about. Because as I said, to me, DEI doesn't mean it's not meritocracy. So we're conflating two things. If we think about DEI as between overseas born and locally born, they all say DEI is probably mainly around certain things like gender, disability, race. It's not about people in the same race. maybe the gender, and the women's team and the men's team are two different things. So the DEI doesn't apply as related to Jamaica football as what may trying to do currently in applying that. It's two different things. I'm back to the football. I'm going to leave people. I'm going to leave. And when I start getting emotive, it's time to say good night. And I've been here since 7 o'clock. It's almost 3 hours, so it's probably time anyway. Nepotism. Yeah, nepotism. Jamaica is one nepotism place. I remember when I was going to high school, the only people that get job at parish council are the people whose parents work there or them family member. None of you look at kids in high school. Never worked to me come on America, Toronto. They get no job in high school, no intern, no summer job. Never get a summer job yet. I've never known nobody. Nepotism reign itself in Jamaica. Probably one of the most nepotism places on earth. Anyway, people, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button, people, and subscribe to all these things that I have, whether their website or their membership or their membership website or their channels. You can subscribe. What did I drop here? I don't even know what the hell that is. But and by the way, for those people who have subscribed already, I do appreciate you. I'm tearing up this every night, tired of this every night of beating JFF. Hey, Sherman Scott. People, tell Sherman what you think I'm going to tell him. People, tell Sherman. First of all, Sherman, I'm about to beat JFF every night. I'm responding to an article that was written that we should get rid of overseas born players. The reason why JFF came in conversation is because they should be blamed for the failure. Because it was believed that the overseas born players are the reason why we're failing and that strategy has worked. Nobody come here and want to talk about JFF every day, Sherman. And if you know your feelings, then go listen to somebody else. Can't tell that to people. If you don't like the host, some of the hosts I say, go listen to somebody else, man. Find somebody else to go listen to. You know what? You're tired of it. Then where you come when you're tired of it for? If you come and hear me talk about, you don't like it, then go listen to somebody else now. We keep telling people that, you know. We don't have no problem with that. People, if you come on my channel and don't like what the host I say, then just say, you know what? I'm not listen to him. See what I'm saying? If you think the host is not balanced, and the host is one-dimensional, and the host is not fair, then go listen to somebody who think fear. Chris Legend said, DEI means lowering the standards. All right, Chris Legends. Your perspective, sir. Since you're not the DEI expert. Jamaica job market is not big enough. People work one job till they die. So till 4 generations will pass, one person the same job. Not a good idea. Going to school for a job. Well, create more industries. Search DEI and white women. Well, no. I mean, I think DEI includes gender, brain drain. So yeah, it would include Caucasian women. But as I said, DEI to me was in a diverse slate. And it was more about race than anything else because it wasn't about gender, to be honest. Because we didn't have a problem. But actually, gender was part of it. But the profession I worked in, having women versus men wasn't a problem because we had more women in the profession, actually. At the era I worked in, we had more women. So that wasn't a problem. It was more about a diverse slate of individuals to be interviewed and hired versus just the CM, repeating the CM thing you do every day. So Sherman, why don't you just not turn up? What's so hard about that, Sherman? Tune into something else. What's so hard about that? No football now playing on Sherman. We talk about something. All this program was people responding to by the way, people, if you haven't watched my video on the lucid gravity, on my review, I see some people here have watched it, and I appreciate the compliments I've gotten. They've been mainly compliments, actually. I think some people just asked me if Lucid is paying me, and they weren't paying me. Because I may have been effusive of my praise of the vehicle. But as you hear, Southie said he actually saw the vehicle and he thought it was nice also. So most people who see the lucid gravity do like it. So yeah, I mean, I do drop videos too, Sherman. So Sherman, go watch a video. If you're tired of me, talk about the JFF. Drop the video. But now talk about no player people, because the last time we're going to talk about 5 players, I'm going to stop talking about it. So until we get confirmation that players are being brought in, I'm not answer about it. There are tons of people who support speed brain drain. Of course, tons of people support speed. All the local media support speed in Jamaica. And a lot of people in Jamaica view him as the best thing since sliced bread, support him. Doesn't mean that we all have to support him. All right? I worked in public accounting at a big 4 firm for a long time. And then I did audits, so external audit and internal audit. So my specialization was investment, so asset management, actually. Investment management, asset management. And my team was global. So I had people in Hong Kong, London, New York, different locations. I had global teams. And I used to be on a plane a lot. Maybe that's why I hate flying. So I was yeah, well, it's not as emotive, DC, as football or sports, right? Maybe brain drain, you can't help yourself, you know. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't fight with the lucid gravity, DC. I can't fight talking about a car. I can't fight talking about a car. I can't fight talking about a car. Man, let me talk about some president of the United States. I'm on the wrong side of history. No, brain drain. I don't think I'm on the wrong side of history. I'm only on the wrong side. Here's what's gonna happen, brain drain. You see, if we ever make World Cup, then some people beat them chest and say, we tell you. That's how people are now. They're hindsight people, right? Because that suggests that nobody else could qualify if Rudolph qualified us. That's what they're suggesting now, which is nonsense. I don't know who's gonna win, actually. Who's gonna win? I don't know who's gonna win. But because it's football and the ball is round, so anything can happen. But I'll say this, which is we shouldn't be in this position. If the JFF had done what they should have done, which is recruit really well, put the players in the best position to win, hire a good coach, we wouldn't be in this position. And those of you who follow my channel know I have been anti this coach from day one, and I have been pushing to say it's the wrong hire. First of all, nobody now hire no coach from England. Nobody now hire no English coach. I hate to say that. Nobody now hire no English coach. At least people outside of England now hire no English coach. England not even hire them own coach, people. England clubs now hire them own coach. So why you want to hire one? Especially one who lazy and old and now do no work. Who want to go back and me, I go sit down, go vacation, go Spain, go vacation. You're supposed to monitor the football and do him homework. See, Pochettino come to US. You know, stuff Pochettino could talk about the interview. The man don't know nobody. The man don't know no Jamaica born players. They don't know no Stewart. They don't know no Devon East. They don't know Romay. They don't know nobody. So why would we hire him? When Emery Emery get the job instead of Arteta the first time, because he know every player, what player do, anything with the club. Him doing homework. Man was lazy. So you shouldn't be surprised that he never do well. Lazy and dated. And that was very obvious. And his hiring was unfortunate. And the JFF hired him. But Rudolph made the final decision that he's responsible, he's culpable. And why people can't see that is beyond me. All right? It's beyond me. So, I don't know, people. So, Jamaica women qualified for 2 World Cup, went to the final 16, and also take more motivation. Yet, still, the JFF failed to follow that blueprint. I think JFF seemed to indicate that the women don't bring in a lot of money. Isn't that what I heard recently on Speed interview? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought they're basically saying most of the money coming from the men's team. Yeah, I know. But I did give them a blueprint the other day. I didn't just talk. I did give them a blueprint. So let's see if that blueprint is followed. Oh, if I forgot I'm on YouTube, I don't know anything, so I can't get them a blueprint. My client was on White Scout. Anyway, let me say good night, people. First of all, I appreciate every single person who joined me this evening to engage. I appreciate all the callers, 433, Southie. Somebody just called me and I can't remember his name. You know, he did a very, very good call from Jamaica. I'm sure I'm going to remember as soon as I get off the program. Those people in the chat who have been here with me throughout this entire process, I do appreciate you. As I said before you leave, hit the like button and also subscribe to the channels, the website, and also become a member if you so choose. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. And people, by the way, I don't just get up in the day and say, I want to talk about these topics. As they pop up, I talk about them. So if I see if my subscribers or others who follow my program, they text me. If I see 4 or 5 people text me the same thing, I talk about it. If they don't, I go think about my own topic I want to talk about. So I know that somebody complained about me beating the JFF every night. I didn't come here to beat the JFF. Talk about the media, traditional media, but the JFF is a subset of that. That's what happens. All right? So anyway, it's not about speed. It's not about the JFF. It's not about the Diaspora born players. It's about a complicit media that's lazy journalism, that's doing lazy journalism, that is not holding people accountable, and who are just focused on getting likes and click, not even likes and click, sponsorship, and want to generate views. Now, everybody want to generate views, but there's a good way and a wrong way to do it. Now, people say, Kranky, you're very negative about talking about the JFF. But if they were doing well, I'd be positive about them. I'd give them the praise they deserve. But if you're not doing well, can't give you praise. Kranky, stop beating the coach and the players. Well, I mean, DJ, everybody contributed to the failure. The question is, what's the allocation of the responsibility of those failures? Everybody contribute, DJ. So if you contribute to failure, you can't expect to get flowers. You have to be accountable, and you have to get flack. Right? But anyway, you have to be in Jamaica 10 years to get any major position in the JFF. So if you live afar and don't think about it, you probably will die first before that happen. But have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I will see you when I see you. You know what? Let me take out the Ocho. I'm not being on Ocho tonight. Have a good night, everyone. Peace out. Thanks.